I really can't stay.
But baby, it's cold outside.
I've got to go away.
Oh, baby, it's cold outside.
This evening has been
hoping that you drop
so very nice.
I'll hold your hands. They're just like
My mother
ice.
will start to worry.
Beautiful. What's your
My father will be pacing the floor.
Listen to that fireplace.
So really, I'd better scurry.
Oh, beautiful. Please don't
Or
hurry.
maybe just a half a
Why
drink
don't you
more.
put some records on while I
The
pour?
neighbors might think,
Oh, baby, it's bad out there.
say what's in this train.
There's no cabs to be had out there.
I wish I knew how
Your eyes are like
to
starlight.
break this spell.
I'll take your hat, your hair looks
I ought
swell.
to say no, no, no,
Mind if
sir.
I move a little
At
closer?
least there will be, that I tried.
What's the sense of hurting my
I
pride?
really can't stay.
Baby, don't hold out.
Oh, but it's cold outside. I simply must go.
Oh, baby, it's cold outside.
The answer is no.
You know it's cold outside.
This welcome has been
I'm lucky that you dropped
so nice and warm.
in. Look out the window. Ah, that's
My
gone.
sister will be suspicious.
Oh, your lips look
My
delicious.
brother will be there at the door.
Like waves upon a tropical
My
shore.
maiden's mind is vicious.
Your lips are
Or
delicious.
maybe just a cigarette more.
Never such a blizzard
I've got to
before.
go home.
Oh, baby, you would freeze out there.
You said lend me a coat.
You know it's up to your knees out there.
You've really been grand.
I thrill when you
But
touch my
don't
hand.
you see?
How can you do this thing to me?
Baby, talk to my
Making my life long
At least
so.
there will be plenty in
If you call me
I
for
really can't stay.
get over the road out. I got it
Cold bloody freezing, isn't it?
Hello, dupes.
Oh, did you see my little kiss for the ending?
Bloody freezing, innit?
Yeah.
I saw your little attempt on Rodney's. What yeah, Apple Charlotte. It's a great song, love. It really is. Karis Matthews and Tom Jones. I really
Oh,
do.
don't worry. Rodney will be fucking under the spell soon. Don't worry.
No. It was my own reaction listening to them all. I could only stay like I think it was 15 seconds, and I had to like.
Yeah, I didn't stay long.
But I can't listen to this. Sorry. No, I just can't listen to it anymore. Can't be dealing with it. I don't even want to know what they're saying. Do you know what I mean, Jupes?
That's
Yeah.
how I feel about Reels. So, you know. But did you miss when Real went back over there after I left?
Yeah, no, I watched. I listened to it about 30
Can you imagine? He went back over there and went, she said that she'd rather come on yours than mine.
Yeah, I got a warning for real. Yeah, real. You keep bringing up me. Yeah, and what happened with me? You keep bringing it up and bringing it up. My advice to you is shut your fucking mouth. Yeah, and stay out of it.
I missed that. I must have missed that. What did he say?
Well, did she just say that she'd rather talk to you than talk to me? And Rodney went, yeah. What, when you apparently were the one who nearly drove her friend to suicide?
Yeah.
Now, I'm getting a bit pissed off with him using that as a, I don't know. It's just something, let's toss that in for a bit of fun.
Yeah, it's a manipulation. It's a manipulation.
Yeah, so my advice to him is to fucking stop it. Or I'll start with, I've now got my video software back. So I will start with certain videos that he really won't want to fucking see. But they will arrive, if you know what I mean, Jupiter.
Yeah.
So real, shut your mouth about me and whatever happened to me or what didn't happen to me. And stop begging, going on to Rodney's. And then when Jupiter goes on there, going on again. Fucking, what are you, a man or a boy?
It's so obvious, isn't it, that he's trying to be friends with Rodney because he wants to get views. And this is what I mean. It pisses me off. I can honestly say that I went on Rodney's when I felt like it. I did ring Wendy and make sure that it was okay with her. But I go where I want, when I want, and not based on views. And I take views with me, if anything. So, yeah. But he wants them all to go on his show, doesn't he? He thinks he's going to collectivise them.
Well,
That'd be just kettling the fuckers for us, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, don't make me come after you, real. Don't. Because we know what happened the last time when there was a fucking pincer movement.
I think he keeps underestimating the women, poor old real. Yeah, that's his problem. He thinks he's so so high IQ that we're thick.
Yeah, but he keeps throwing it in. Do you know what I mean? Like every time I think, you little bastard. Do you know what I mean? That's like every time, I don't know. That's like me mentioning his fucking sister every other day for some fucking reason.
Yeah. Well, how could he talk to Rodney after all what Rodney said about his sister?
I don't know. I really don't know.
There you go. So
I couldn't.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I couldn't.
And a sister's meant to be much closer to you than an online friend. So he's the worst one.
Look, Jupiter, you rang me and you told me. And I mean, it was neither, as long as I don't have to fucking listen to it. Do you know what I mean? That is the point of it, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That is the point of it. And as long as, I never, ever go on there again. I couldn't. I just couldn't. But
I understand
him, keep bringing up and bringing up. Real, you need to shut your mouth.
But Wendy, that even if I go on there, I'm not going to allow fucking Rodney to slag you off. You know that.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I do. I do know that. I exactly know that, love. I've got no worries about that whatsoever. But if Rodney brings it up and says something ridiculous, you just bat it away. I've seen you do it. You just bat it away. You sort of say, what was that you said? I didn't quite hear. Do you know what I mean? Or you'll go on to a different topic.
Yep.
But he does it deliberately. And
I
don't like.
Well, they're both manipulating him at the moment. You've got Brian Earl over there threatening him subliminally, saying, "Oh yeah, but you lied about me, Rodney, didn't you? You know what's going to happen and things like that." But when I've got the time, Wendy, I will be going over there counteracting it because I know you don't like Rodney, and I accept why you don't like Rodney. Hector hates him. So
no, I'm sorry. I just hate
Hector
him.
agrees with you, but I actually think he gets manipulated. And I'm not there to save Rodney because I don't give a fuck about that. But at the same time, I'm going to call out the manipulation Because I want people to see these cunts for what they really are.
Yeah, well, I'll wish you luck, but I can never forgive Rodney for that night.
Yeah,
Never.
I know.
Um,
Yeah, I know.
never. But real, yeah, he's don't do it real. If you know what's fucking good for you, don't. I'm not in the mood for him and his fucking little throwbacks. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, let's get on to.
Yeah, let's do our show.
Where's Moon? Where's Moon?
Oh, she'll be here soon. I think they were having trouble finding your show. Can someone drop the link in our special Telegram group?
Yeah, if someone could do that, that would be great.
Yeah, so that people that want to come over can come over. Just drop it in the Telegram group.
You see, I've used this one, Jukes, because hang on, I'm just fiddling about now. I've had to use this channel because whenever we talk about the subject we're going to talk about on the other channel, I get a strike. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what you're going to make of this. I don't know. I don't even know if you've seen it. Did they send it to you as well?
I think so. Is it from Public Annoyance?
Yeah, it's a video.
Yeah, I've seen it. So go ahead.
So I think we shouldn't make no judgment until we go through it, and that we do our usual review, yeah, and we're honest about it because I'm a bit, I don't know, I don't know. Anyway, let's get started. Where is it? I did keep it up.
Yeah, can someone drop the new Telegram link for Adam? And can someone that can base Luke check through it and make sure that it's not that we haven't got any imposters? Apparently, Brian Hurl was bragging that he's already infiltrated. I don't believe him. I think he was just saying.
He wouldn't make a very good fucking infiltrator when he goes around bragging that he's infiltrated. I mean, please. See what I mean, Drew?
Yeah, it's pathetic.
I tell you who was in there 3 times.
Sky, you need to get her out because I don't even believe it's her. I believe that was Janet.
No, it's Sky because she left me voice notes.
Oh, for God's sake.
Don't tell me to go away. I said, I will tell you to go away.
Yeah, we don't want her in there.
Yeah, I said, go and talk to your friends. We're not your friends. You lied about us, which she did, Jupiter.
Yeah.
I said, so you go and talk to your friends and leave us alone. We don't want to know. We don't want to be involved in it. And we don't want nothing to do with that.
Exactly.
So, hang on. I just got it. Right. Okay. So, let's... It's really weird doing this. I don't know where the makers of the video are, but they wanted us to do this, so I will do it. Okay, can you... Right, it's called The Rape of Britain by Tommy Robinson. Yeah, Jupes, is it on the screen, love? Because I'm not looking.
Showing up.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
You can break me down. You can take me down. You can take me down. You can break me down. You can take me down.
I'm good, bro. How is it?
Moon, can you click the link and join? Moon's here. Can you click the link and join?
Moon's here, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll put the link in again in case it could have... Boom, boom. There we go. There's the link, Moon. I'll wait for her to come on before I start it. Or she'll miss it, won't she?
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. So in this photograph, we've got Zach. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now, I know you don't like Zach, but I spoke to him over on Wake Up UK and he came across as reasonable.
Yeah.
He says he's got a mixed race brother. I don't know if that's true, but that's what he told me. And he said he wasn't racist. I don't know how true that is either. But when I spoke to him, he came across quite reasonable compared to Danny Tomo and the other one, to be fair. In my opinion. But you've got a different opinion to that, haven't you?
I certainly do. I mean, who is he? Where'd he come from? What gives him the right to say what's what and what's right in this country and what isn't? And
where does he live?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
So Zach Walton, Tommy Robinson's right-hand man, bodyguard, Stuart driver. Don't know. Really don't know. Hi, Moon, love.
Hi.
So do you know anything about Zach?
No, only that he's, I thought he was Tommy's bodyguard or something, wasn't he?
Yeah. Anyway, so I'll start the video. Jukes, give me a scream. Should you want to, discuss, yeah.
We're working on big shit. You watch all the people that have fucking deserted Tommy from scoring back as soon as they fucking see this shit. You watch it happen. We are going to put a dent in the planet. We're going to put a dent in fucking people's perspectives. We're going to put a dent in fucking people's perspectives.
Bringing you the truth.
I'm sorry for doing this. I mean, I have to be 100% for my major approach. I've got to be right with Jim Davis.
And they offered me £15,000 to keep a baby. £15,000.
And I got offered £20,000 to keep it. £20,000 to keep it.
Okay, stop.
£20,000 to keep it.
Stop when? So the first discrepancy is the amount. What do you make of that, Wendy? Because for me, I think it's possible that when you get when something happens, right, and you get hyperbolic in a movement, I can believe that you would sort of pepper it up, not realizing that you've done that.
And I'd go along with that.
Okay, what about you, Moon? What do you think?
I don't think you would forget an amount for such an important issue.
Okay. See, I think you would. And because the passage of time, I think it's a couple of years at least. I think you would. I think that you would say, "Oh, I got offered 5K," or "I got," and then later on you might go 7K. And I think even though she's jumped $5,000, I think you would. I think you would if you got carried away and you were somebody that peppered up your story and stuff. I think you would. I think you would, even though there's an element of truth there. I reckon she definitely got offered something. I reckon she did.
Yeah. And I do think that she has been a victim.
Yeah, so do I. But anyway, let's carry on then.
Yeah.
About me. Yeah? This is not about me. Yeah?
You're the most famous cunt in the UK. Other than me.
First realised that there was something going on with him.
There was something going on in... Her mum brought me to a light of it, obviously, because I was at work in the daytime and everything else. And I worked away from home quite a lot until, obviously, Amy was... until roughly around 2010, 2011. I found her. By driving around in the car, she was in a block of flats being pulled up the stairs. She was seen at a block of flats in Donington, in Barn Close.
Hello everyone. I would just like to say thank you so much for coming. I've left my children behind for this. And I've plucked up the courage today to thank you all for standing up for these disgusting, courageous monsters.
Right, stop. So obviously she meant outrageous and she said courageous. What, we're going to pull her up for that? Because I have word muddled.
Yeah, she must have been very nervous stood on that
Yeah,
stage.
I'm not going to pull her up for that. And I don't know what the looking at the flats meant because you could see the stairwell. I could see the stairwell. So what was they trying to prove? That you couldn't see the stairwell from there? I think you can.
They look a lot like a block I used to live in. It looks almost identical, actually.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can see when people get to the top of the stairs and they come round the stairs to go up the next flight,
Yep.
you can clearly see.
Yeah, there's
coming
lots
and
of blocks of flats like that, isn't there? Where you
Yeah.
can see people going up the
Yeah,
stairwell.
that big window is the stairway window.
Yeah.
Ah.
So let's go.
People are monsters. All of them are connected.
I might not live here anymore, but you will know me. And in the next 6 to 8 months, and it's a promise, there will be a book of the rape of Britain in big detail, more than what you've seen here.
Right, stop.
What's that on her neck then?
A mole.
Yeah, stop. So he called them monsters and he slowed it down. What was the point of that? I think they are monsters.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was about.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Is he against calling them monsters? Anyone who rapes a woman is a fucking monster, number one. Number two, are they trying to prove it's the same girl? So what if it's the same girl? What, she can't lose weight and put makeup on and learn how to do makeup?
Mm.
Are we gonna pick on women that can learn how to do makeup now? What's the fucking point of that? And number
has
three,
had some children and put on a bit of weight.
exactly. And number three, so what if she says, "Oh, you all know me"? What, we're bothered about that now, are we? I don't get this point of the of it. I don't get it. Do you get it, Wendy?
No, because I remember years and years ago when a certain person asked another person about me, and the person who he asked said, "Oh, everyone knows her," and that's the way. Do you know what I mean? So to me, for her to say, "Well, everyone knows me," it means nothing, really. Yeah.
So Athena's saying no. Tommy Robinson said the girl had not spoken before. So what? Maybe he wants to cover her identity because he doesn't think that people would have realised that she spoke at that march. And maybe he wants to make sure that she's protected. Who cares whether Tommy Robinson said she'd not spoken before? She hasn't said that she's not spoken before. What does that prove? Don't get it.
Yeah, she hasn't actually said that, has she?
Don't get it.
No.
Does that mean all her story's fake? Because Tommy Robinson said that then. Anyway, let's play.
The fact there's 100% DNA match, Schnitt. The fact there's 100% DNA match, Schnitt. The fact there's 100% DNA match.
To keep the baby. Offer £15,000 to keep the baby.
£20,000 to keep the baby. Well, go first Carl.
Go first, Carl offered you £20,000.
Let me tell you something. In 2013, on the 30th of September, I went for an abortion and they offered me £15,000 to keep a baby.
This is not about me. Yeah? This is not about me. Yeah.
Bugsy, you're the most famous cunt in the
I don't know what that was about either. I'm beginning to get annoyed now because I think one of the finest points that Tommy Robinson did when he got on the stage was say, look, this is not about me. This is about the girls. I'm just using my voice because I know I can. He actually said that, right? And I agree with that statement. It's not about Tommy. If you don't like Tommy, that doesn't negate the fact that this has happened to them girls.
Yeah.
So I agree with that statement, and I actually bigged him up for saying that statement. So what if he's got a big ego and he said other stuff elsewhere? Oh, I'm the most famous person, or I'm even the king of the gypsies, or whatever he's fucking said. Who gives a shit? On the day of putting out this video, he said, this is not about me. So it negates everything else that's been said before. What is it with these people? Right, go on, keep playing.
Can we start at the beginning of the abuse, yeah? And go through, so because we've got your dad's account, but we've not just got your dad's. We've got 4 or 5 other girls from Telford's accounts. A lot of the names and the actions matched up with some of what your dad said. But are you comfortable if we just talk through, so I can hear it? Yeah.
So it happened when I was 11.
Yeah.
At the Mint Indian in Trench Road.
Yeah.
I started working there. So I started working inside.
It's just in the evenings.
Yeah. I worked there packing orders.
Yeah.
And answering the phone. People would come in there and look and think, well, she's too young to be here. Or they would say, oh, do you work here? I'd be left in the restaurant then while Dad went on deliveries, packing orders.
1. Note TR said in the 2022 documentary 4 or 5 girls. Is this because he's unsure who will actually appear in the next episode? For people that have been researching the Telford area, sounds like very loose talk. 2. Nicole describes her duties in the Mint, and this is when she's 11 years old. This period of time is when she alleges Barber Ali was on the scene. And not long after he allegedly raped her and gets off and is now residing in Birmingham. 3. Her father Mark Toy in the Danny Tomo interview conducted in 2019, but after its appearance on YouTube it went no further, leaving people asking what happened to the money they had donated. But notice Mr. Toy hardly remembers the date, stumbling as to whether it was 2010 or 2011. Considering in this same interview with Tomo he produces a massive file and states everything has been recorded to the year 2019.
Did you first realise that there was something going on?
There was something going on in...
So let's just address them points. I'm somebody that talks about facts, and sometimes when I'm remembering a story, like even to do with Real's argument, for example, I might go, I can't remember if it was late 2019 or 2020, but it happened. That doesn't mean that his story's a lie. And even if he's got it recorded, if he hasn't got the stuff with him to refer to, I don't know what that's about. Now, when Tommy says there's probably 4 or 5 girls, yeah, that is quite loose talk. But considering he said that he hasn't finished the production, but beforehand he said that he had finished the production.
Yeah, that he'd finished all 6. That's what he said.
That is a fair criticism. That is a fair criticism.
Yeah.
But again, it doesn't prove that the grooming didn't happen.
And also, you know the guy who owned the restaurant where she was packing and everything?
Yeah.
Tommy's never once been in there to talk to that guy who owns the restaurant.
Okay.
And I know that for a fact.
So that means what though, Wendy, to you?
Well, I mean, wouldn't you go to the source where the little girl worked?
Not if you accepted that the story's true, I suppose.
Well, when you're okay,
And we
you're
know that- and-
you're investigating a crime, Jupiter.
Yeah.
Yeah. The crime had something to do with this place where she worked. The first place I'd want to go, apart from talking to her and her parents, would be that place of where she worked.
But we know
And
it's true because she had an abortion and the DNA showed that that man was it and that she's got DNA evidence.
Yeah, but I'd still want to talk to the man who owns the so-called, whether it's a restaurant or kebab shop or whatever it is. I'd
Yeah.
still want to talk to him because in this country, you're not allowed to employ 11-year-olds for a start.
Mm.
And yet no one has been to there. None of them.
I can understand what you're saying, but I don't necessarily find that strange.
No, I do. In an investigation.
Because I don't think they'd probably talk to Tommy anyway.
Yeah, because look, if you're going to go as far as it's gone in bringing everything out, that is quite a big factor to skip over.
Dave wants the link. Dave wants the link.
But then it might have been, well, look, you know, if we go anywhere near that place, we're just going to get trouble.
Well, I've heard from someone who went in. No, I heard from someone who went into the shop, spoke to the owner recently, and the owner said I wouldn't have a problem with them coming here. He hasn't. None of them have been here.
Yeah, but he's going to say that, isn't he? But anyway, okay, fair criticism if that's what you think. Go on then.
Hang on, because I'm waiting for Dave will have to, Tell me, oh no, you won't know when he pops on. Right.
Her mum brought me to a light of it, obviously, because I was at work in the daytime and everything else. And I worked away from home quite a lot until, obviously, Amy.
Hang on. Wait a minute. Her mum brought me to the light of it because he was at work. But I thought he worked where his daughter was working.
He also said he worked away quite a bit. Now, if you listen to her when she tells her story, she says that her dad used to be out on deliveries and she'd be at the shop.
Yeah.
So that's probably why he was out on deliveries.
Hang on. Dave, is that you?
Yeah, this is where you tried to cover the screen there.
Yeah. I was a bit
Well, we've
late
had
there.
these all going nuts, haven't we, Dave? Ain't you been watching all day?
No, I haven't.
All the
Anyway.
shit with the fam's real, but that's another discussion.
So this
Alright,
father seemed to have got the he seemed to have got everything mixed up here. Yeah. Okay, let's.
It was until roughly around 2010, 2011.
To the camera. Can we just show the camera the amount of factual evidence that you have to back up everything you're about to say? Show them this file that you've got.
No
Just lift that up and show them the file. So we've got paperwork after paperwork, and this is going back right from the beginning.
From the beginning, right through to the day of 2019. She was 12, just turned 13.
Bob Valley.
I slept with him.
How old was you?
I was 11, Tom.
Barbara Ali featured in the documentary as the alleged rapist when Nicole was just 11 years old. Nicole said when asked that Barbara Ali had contacted her via Facebook in 2018. Yet in the 2019 interview conducted by Danny Tomo with Amy, now known as Nicole's dad Mark Toy, there was absolutely no mention of Barbara Ali. Now bear in mind a massive file was produced in that interview where the man had said he had logged everything and really said about investigating everything himself. Yet the alleged rapist of his 11-year-old daughter was not discussed. Or indeed the rape minus the name. How very strange.
Right, okay,
She was
stop.
12, just turned 13.
Now, it is possible that the girl hadn't spoken about that rapist and that her father was unaware.
Well, these are minor discrepancies, aren't they? This is like some kind of fucking, I don't know, one of these.
Yeah, this is a video,
Who
Dave.
made this?
This is a video that's been put out to discredit Tommy, and we're going through it, and we're trying to be balanced, right?
Yeah,
Now,
but who made it?
public annoyance.
Public
The fact,
Who's that?
the fact that it hasn't been mentioned doesn't mean that it didn't happen, because they're not mentioned him at all. It doesn't mean that it didn't happen.
You do know this interview that's going on at the moment took place in 2019.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is maybe the dad wasn't aware of the sex at 11. Maybe she told her dad in stages, and that's not uncommon, Wendy.
Yeah, but
When
11 and 12, that's like, it's like
When
it's a
you've
year
been a
between. It's
serial-
not like there's 10 years.
Look, if you're a young girl, right, and you've been serially sexually abused, and you tell your parents and you see the devastating reaction, and they go, "Oh my God, you were only 13, I feel terrible," you might hold back something else because you don't want to tell them straight away, actually, it's worse than that, I was 11. You know what I mean?
Do you sometimes get confused, not confused, but do you sometimes say the wrong name or the wrong word or the wrong letter or the wrong number?
Oh, yeah,
Does that
all the
happen?
time.
Of course,
Yeah.
some people are just like that. They
Yeah.
get numbers mixed up and stuff. It doesn't prove anything.
It happens a lot amongst the lower classes. It does.
Well,
and
what
I'm
does Moon
myself
think?
Working class.
What does Moon think? Moon?
I just think it's I just get a bit irritated that they're going after the victim. Well, they're using Tommy, obviously, or her to get to him. She definitely had that happen to her.
Oh, yeah.
And all right, they don't like him. They want to discredit him. But look, you can't use that girl to do it. Go and find another way.
I agree. See, when they
yeah.
complained about the Black Lives Matter stunt in the chicken shop, I fully agree with them. But doing it this way, you're bang out of order. Yeah.
Okay. So.
Just coming 13. Just turned 13 in the March. She turned 13. This was in the May.
Okay. This is the scenario of the brown envelope in the Tomo interview. The dad explains he went to get money owed for doing work. He went to the takeaway where the daughter worked. Only he did not mention in the Tomo interview his daughter still worked there. This was after she had been raped at 11. He describes the man that had the envelope passed to him. He also says about the guy's presence. No mention of the daughter. He says he went to the car and it did not sit right with him, now bearing in mind he's left the daughter back in the takeaway working. 2 weeks later he went to the meeting at the police station where the dodgy-eyed gray-haired copper was present. And the penny dropped.
I was waiting for him to come. See a big brown envelope pushed across the table. It was cash. You could see the cash was in it. It got slid, put it in the inside of his pocket. Sat there. Cool. Just carried on eating his food.
Wendy, sorry I had to stop you there before we passed on. Why is the video cut? You see, this is the problem, right? If they don't allow the video to play in full context and stop to make their comments, we don't know what they've cut out in between. And I don't like that. Because that was a clean cut at the start of this bit.
Moon made a good point. They just want to prove Tommy Robinson wrong, don't they? They don't really care about
Yeah.
Yeah, and in the
It's a
meantime,
shitty
there's
thing
going
to
to be
do.
collateral damage, and that's not fair.
Yeah, they're being fucking scumbags. Like, this is people's actual lives. And they're
First
just
and
being-
foremost should always be these victims.
Yeah.
No
and the
matter
thing
what.
Is, the thing is, no matter that she was 13 and she was still working there when he saw the envelope, what does that prove? He wasn't aware of what happened until she told him much later on. So he's telling you something that he's seen at the time, not knowing that there was sexual abuse of his daughter going on. He just thought it was dodgy that they were paying off the police. He didn't know what for.
But it's not a TV show, is it? These people have obviously been through a lot of shit. And
Exactly.
a lot of things what comes with his life. After this happened, their lives would have went into a fucking spin. And he's been called a liar because he said 12 instead of 11. It's like 1 year between. It's like their lives have been turned upside down. And they're meant to what? Be reading from a fucking TV script. This is real life, man.
And Cole Holmes, have you got any proof that he's a 14er? Because I'd like to see that as well. Because if he's part of the 14, then I don't trust a word that he fucking says, to be honest, Wendy.
What bugs me? The only thing that bugs me is this interview was 2019. So what were they doing why did it take till 2022 for them to pick the story up again?
I think
Don't forget
maybe
Tommy
because
got
COVID happened. Possibly.
Yeah, COVID happened. He got put away.
We didn't start doing the documentary in 2022.
And as far as I know, it was Danny Tomo that did all the investigative work of this, and he just brought it to Tommy Robinson and said, "Look, I've got all this stuff here. Can you do something about it?"
Did that documentary start in 2022? I'm sure it started in 2021, didn't it?
Well, it wasn't aired till 22, was it?
Oh yeah,
No,
but that's like all kinds of
this
things.
original interview was aired before, Wendy. I've seen it before. I've seen it
Yeah, I
in
can
its
remember
entirety, and I remember him talking about the alleged confession of somebody that they saw. I think it was
things
someone
go into
strung up on a meat hook, or they got threatened with someone strung up on a meat hook. Yeah.
You know, things go into production though, don't they? They're not released straight away. Things can be filmed fucking 2-3 years before things with documentaries.
Not if you're Tommy Robinson. If you're Tommy Robinson, you can say, "Oh, I've made all 6 episodes," and then a few weeks later, you can come online and say, "Well, actually, we haven't made all 6 episodes, and we need more money off you to make the second episode."
Yeah, that is what that is.
Yeah,
one thing
that-
I
yeah.
will criticise him for. That's a definite, Dave. We can't even argue that.
Did he directly say that? Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes he needs to think.
Yeah, he's got to stop begging all the time. But I still say, look, if anybody else has got the bollocks to stand up and don't, I'm not a Tommy fan. It's unfortunate that he had to take on these cases because nobody else has got the balls to stand up and do it.
Absolutely. And I can't stand the fact that Patriotic Alternative and people that are extreme right and the 14ers, for their own politics, are trying to dismiss Tommy and what he has done for the grooming gangs.
They still going. Patriotic.
Yeah, it's still, well, no, they're not. They're all disbanded over the place trying to infiltrate left, right and centre. But what I will say about Tommy is that if it's one area he does know about, it's the grooming. And we can't knock him for that. And he is the best spokesman for it, whether we like him or not. He gets listened to on this account. And
But Jupiter, he was asking for money, even for the fucking screen for outside the police station.
Yes, I know.
And the stage.
Yes, and we can criticise him for that. I'm not going to back down on that, Wendy.
Yeah.
I do think that sometimes he doesn't think either. But when it comes to his knowledge on all this, no one can knock him. I'm sorry, they can't.
Yeah, I mean, look, where is the 14's God, Colette? Has done none of this.
Well, he's over on Wake Up UK every Wednesday, apparently, and that's about
Well,
it.
You know, sitting there criticising what everybody else is doing.
Mhm.
Look, it may not be being done in the correct way, but it's being done, and it's getting done. We don't have to like the person who's doing it. There's a lot of reporters I don't particularly like.
Well, obviously, Miss Archie and Adrad, you've obviously missed the show where we went looking into the umbrella firm of the media agency that's actually employing Tommy, and it turns out it's actually his own wife. So,
Yeah, we know who owns that. Yeah.
yeah, it's his own wife that's employing him. So basically, when he's asking for funds for the media company, he's asking for funds for his own wife.
But I'm not having this argument again. I agree with the chat. I don't know, you're not very fixated on that.
Yeah, we did look at that though, and yeah.
I know.
Wait a minute, hang on, Dave. We're not fixated. We've been asked to look at this video, so we are.
Oh no,
Yeah.
are you conflating? No, actually, you just messed up there, Wendy. No, you're conflating the two. You were talking about him taking donations. Him taking donations don't have anything to do with this video that is calling the victims liars.
Yeah, which is where I agree with Dave.
Unless
You
you're
see-
playing this video to, I don't know.
You
That don't
see,
make sense.
To what? I haven't watched it yet, so I wouldn't
No,
know.
but I
would
don't understand why you made those 2 points together when that don't make sense. The money
Well,
thing is
the
separate
reason I
from
made
this.
them together is because we were talking about something something to do with the episodes, and I went, yeah, but only Tommy Robinson can say he's made 6 episodes. Then 2 weeks later, come out and say, well, actually, no, we're having trouble making episode 2. We need money, and we need money for the screen and the
Yeah.
bloody stage.
Yeah. But this video, from what I've seen so far, is just basically calling the dad and the girl liars.
Yeah, and that's where I pick
Yeah.
up Dave's point. Public annoyance, if he's really got an issue about Tommy Robinson asking for donations, then they
Yeah,
do
just
a
say it's about the
documentary
donations. Yeah.
on the donations. Stop picking up the girl as if she's a liar.
Yeah.
That's where I agree with Dave. But I also agree with Wendy that Tommy Robinson did say that he had a 6-parter that was all finished. They'd worked hard on it, and then after the first episode, said, "Actually, we need money."
But they are two separate things, though, aren't they? Because
yeah.
on one hand, people questioning Tommy Robinson about finances. Yeah, we've had that conversation before.
Yeah.
Everyone knows this here is calling this man and that girl liars.
Yeah, and that's what I'm getting annoyed with, Dave. I agree with you.
So are they saying that whole documentary is just a fabrication? That's a big allegation, that is.
And also, I'd like to say that even though Tommy Robinson might be not the desirable person that most people would want to speak on this, he does have a voice and people listen to him. And if that's the case, then we have to consider, what is that voice worth? But why doesn't he just be transparent about it? That's the problem.
Look, he knows that he's getting all this criticism and he knows how to stop it. And that is to be transparent. And that is the bit I don't trust, because he won't show any of the accounts, bank accounts, funds, where it's gone. He won't ever show any of that.
And that's the problem. But
Yeah,
then Cole Holmes said, to balance it up, look on Public Annoyance's own Telegram channel. There is evidence of him stalking and abusing multiple victims. Well, if that's the case, that's fucking bang out of order. And I've only just twigged that he calls himself Public Annoyance. Would that be PA?
No.
As you guys haven't heard of him before.
No, we've heard of him before.
Carl said he is in PA.
That's what I'm saying, is the Public Annoyance representing patriotic alternative.
Come on, no. Right, Robert.
If that's the case, I'm sorry, Athena, and whoever.
No, Public Annoyance has got nothing to do with PA.
I don't trust any
Carl said he
14er.
does.
Anyone that used to fall under Ralph's spell and type 14 in the chat because of Ralph are fucking ignoramuses, to be honest, and radicalised little bastards.
We've got cross wires all over the place because Carl's saying he's a 14, and Athena's saying he's nothing to do with PA. So I don't know.
He's not. Anyway, we'll look at that in a minute. Let's get on with this.
Is he a 14?
Talking with them all, nothing. Collecting my money and I left. I walked out of there and I got in the car and my mind's on overdrive. I've recognised this person before. My mind is on overdrive. And I couldn't, at the time, I could not fathom it. I could not work it out. So I left. Carried on going. Went home. It was about 2 weeks later. There's a big meeting called in Mallinsgate Police Station, 2nd floor. Ian Rutherford, DI Jim Bayliss, which is a new DI what got brought in onto the case. Jennifer Mattison, She apologised. She couldn't make the meeting. It was Cindy Henry, and there was Nicky Gardner. When I walked into the room, the first thing that man did was take as much information off that man before he leaves this room today. I've looked at this man, and this man's gone, and the penny dropped. That's him.
Wow, so this is the guy in the takeaway. So
This was the guy that sat at the takeaway, what took a big brown envelope of cash.
So that's where you made the connection.
That's where I've made the connection.
And who is it?
DI Jim Bayliss. He is a detective inspector from What's Penny Dropped. That's
The
him.
2022 documentary. Amy, who has now become Nicole, describes that she also seen the brown envelope. And she goes into detail of the description of the copper who we now know is Bayliss, the man that TR accosted and asked questions.
Penny dropped. That's him.
What do you know of an allegation that the police were being paid?
By Dodgy Eye in it.
Can you explain? Can you tell me what you know?
I remember the envelope,
Do you remember?
and it was a very big envelope, and it was for Gofraz Khan. He was supposed to go to prison, and this envelope was passed down the table, and the evidence was lost.
So Gofraz Khan was supposed to go to prison for, do you know what crime?
Money laundering.
Money laundering. And was this when you was working in the restaurant?
Right, stop, Wendy.
Tell me what you witnessed.
And there's your answer. They're not saying that the money was passed over to stop the grooming gang investigation. They're saying there was a separate investigation going on to do with money laundering and other drug dealing and other nefarious stuff at the time that the father saw the envelope being passed along. At the time, he was oblivious to the fact that at the same time they were also raping his daughter. This is what you're not getting. You're conflating two things.
Who is?
Well, Public Annoyance said, the dad said that he saw the envelope and his daughter was still working there and she'd had sex already at age 11. Why was she still working there if there was an investigation? The investigation was not into his daughter. It was only much later, when the investigation was into his daughter, that he recognised that that was the man that he'd seen passing money over for the investigation with the drug dealing and the other crimes, money laundering. Are you understanding? Do you want me to explain it again?
No.
Right, so let me explain. The dad worked in a place where his daughter they then offered the daughter a job at age 11 to do receptionist. He trusted those people. He allowed her to work there thinking she was safe because he was going off doing deliveries and coming back, not knowing that they were grooming her and having sex with her and passing her around. She didn't tell her dad didn't know. Around that time, there was drug dealing going on, there was money laundering going on and other nefarious stuff that obviously her dad was aware they were being investigated for. That police officer went in, passed the money over. He knew he recognised him from somewhere but didn't know where. Probably police in the local community, but he didn't know where. It wasn't until much later on when his daughter confided into the mother that they were having sexual liaisons with her and they went to the police that he recognised that that was the same officer that had paid them off for the money laundering. You getting it now?
Yeah, I am, but it's not me that's conflating the two. It's these people.
Yeah,
Because-
no, I'm not saying you. I'm saying Public Annoyance. Because Public Annoyance has made this video to make it look like, oh, well, they were investigating her sex crime and she was still working there. No, they were investigating money laundering and drug dealing and other nefarious stuff. That's what they were getting paid off for. not to shut down the case of the fucking sex crimes. The sex crimes didn't come much until much later when the dad found out about them.
Right. Carry on.
There was a lot of people that night. There was Dad, there was Tarek Mahmood, there was Rizwan Hussein, I think his name is. There was Munchie, there was Bugsy, there was Charlie, there was Akil Khan, and then there was this police officer.
Can you describe him?
He's quite tall. He had grey hair, dodgy eye, slim build. It's about maybe 6 foot tall.
Was he stood at the bar with them, at the table with them?
He sat at the table because they'd all just finished eating.
He was eating with them as well?
Yeah.
And you witnessed?
Bugsy, he went into the main restaurant.
Yep.
And he come back with a brown envelope. And when I say brown envelope, it was stacked.
Yep.
I couldn't even close it. And he passed it in. 10 minutes after he passed it in, he disappeared. A week later, Bugsy sat in my dad's car. And he was bragging, saying, "Oh, I'm not going to prison, Mark. All my problems have gone away."
See?
But he removed his names off his properties.
At that time. And Bugsy is
Gufras
Khan.
Khan. And he moved them into Manjit Singh's name, which is his wife, but one off.
At which point did you know that the man sat around the table with them was a police officer?
I'd met him.
You met him?
I'd met him.
When?
When I went to an interview.
So you went to give an interview about men who had been raping you, and that's when you met the man with the dodgy eye, the same man you'd seen previously receiving money.
See?
Do you know that man's name?
I'm not sure of his name. Yeah, I am. Jim Bayliss.
His name's Jim Bayliss.
Yeah.
So you witnessed Jim Bayliss take money.
It's Khan. In 2014, we were taken to the middle floor of Mallinsgate Police Station to a meeting in regards to the progress of this case. When I walked into that meeting, I recognised this man. This man got a dodgy left eye, slick back grey hair, tartan jacket, white shirt, open. And the first words he said was, "Take as much information off that man before he leaves this building." And he left. The penny dropped. And the penny dropped. The penny dropped. And the penny dropped. I remembered him from Oaken Gates, Spice Lounge. He took the payout, the payday, from Gufras Khan.
I have 2 witnesses who saw you at Spice Lounge restaurant taking envelopes of money off of Gulfresh Khan and Mohammed Charlie Khan. What do you have to say to those allegations? Mr. Bayliss, this is your right to reply. Over 200 men's
by the way.
What?
So the documentary makes perfect sense. So why has public annoyance made that look dodgy? I don't understand that, Wendy. I don't. Public annoyance has tried to murk the waters there, and it's pissed me off a bit, to be honest. Because if you're a man that wants to stand on truth, and I'm not trying to defend Tommy, right? Because Tommy's got his faults, but he's trying to make it look like, oh, the dad of the fucking victim didn't know what he was talking about because obviously, you know, he'd seen him before, and his daughter was getting raped at the time, but he wasn't aware that his daughter was getting raped till much later. Public annoyance, you're a scumbag for doing that.
Well, look, there's something weird's happening in the chat. Carl, I know, is a stand-up person. I've known him on these channels for a long time. He's saying this geezer's some fucking Jew-hating 14er, and Athena's backing the guy up. I'm confused as hell.
Well, we should talk about that in a sec, all right?
And this police officer deserves the shit kicked out of him for it. Look at his smug face, the cunt. He knows he's as guilty as fuck. Go on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Names were identified by your police investigation, but only 11 were charged. Why is that? Did you have anything to do with the case's collapsing? Mr. Bayliss, this is your opportunity to answer the questions. You have nothing to say. Do you think men should have been prosecuted for the rape of children in Telford? Did you play your part in making sure they didn't? Mr. Bayliss, Inspector Bayliss, this is your opportunity to answer questions. Why did you leave the police force? I have eyewitnesses who saw you taking envelopes of money off of Pakistani gangsters in the Spice Lounge restaurant in Oakengates. What do you have to say to those allegations? What are you hiding from, Mr. Bayliss? You've took your name off the electoral roll. You've gone invisible since 2019. Why did you leave the police force before your pension? You're not going to answer anything. Is this your version of a no-comment interview, Mr. Bayliss? Seriously, this is your opportunity to answer. I have witnesses who place you sitting round a table with Mohammed Charlie Khan, Gulfraz Khan, all known Pakistani gangsters from Telford. You're sat at a table with them receiving envelopes. What were in those envelopes? Have you took money to collapse cases? Is that why you left the police force 2 years ago? And is that why you're now in hiding? What is your relationship with Gulfraz Khan? What was your relationship? What's your relationship with Mohammed Charlie Khan? Are they your friends? Did they use you to escape justice in Telford? Nothing to say. Nothing at all to say. If you do fancy what to try and find, you're not having to look at it. No? Come on. We've asked our question. You're right. No. Come on. Inspector Bayliss, if you've been involved in corruption, it will come out.
You know, you could get an agreement on that. You'd get a deal off the police, 100%, where you wouldn't get done, and probably relocated. And I could help you I could support you through all of that, and your legal fees. I'll get you a solicitor myself, a top solicitor, and the top barrister.
What the hell is this?
You don't have to. You are not, willing to participate in any of that. You've been coerced. You've been threatened.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Flush that down the toilet.
Oh, you can bring me down. You can bring me down.
Is he taking the piss? Right,
Oh, is
now.
that him there? Is that him?
Right, so Public Annoyance is pissed off at Tommy for being a bit of an egotist, and then there he is with his own mug at the end of the video, like he's some fucking white saviour. What the fuck is going on here? I'm sick and tired of these men who fucking love themselves.
But he can't be a ethno-nationalist. Athena's backing him.
Okay.
Athena's vouching for him.
Let's go
Stephanie said, I think Public Annoyance is one of the groomers.
Public Annoyance is what?
One of the groomers.
Well,
you
you
know,
know.
I've got dark humour. Sorry, guys. That made me laugh.
So, and this Public Annoyance was calling survivors fat fucking slags. Apparently.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And now,
you know, he has no credibility.
There's a lot of rumours. There's a lot of rumours going around about the whole family, if you like. And I don't get why. In Telford itself, it could be jealousy, I guess.
I believe it is jealousy. Look,
Yeah.
Wendy,
Yeah.
I've seen enough on these channels to know how men's minds work. Men are critical of women. They don't believe women when they call out rape. They say they're attention seekers. They say they're sluts, they're whores, they were giving out. We live in a very misogynistic society.
We do.
Let's be truthful about it, right?
Mm.
And most of the people that are in the on the right in the movements are men. There are women, but a lot of times it takes a strong woman to stand up to a lot of it. I've seen Tony Bugle get put under abuse. I've seen Katie Jane Swallow get put under abuse. I've seen myself get put under abuse. You get put under abuse. In
Mm.
fact, I've seen Tracy, who's down at the coast at Dover, get put under abuse. Any woman that seems to be on the right tends to get fucking targeted out of jealousy by these men. We've seen the
Yeah.
jealousy of the men on the right, and we've seen how they act like fucking big babies, right? And to actually call abuse victims fucking fat slags, well, that sounds like James Goddard to me.
Is he Scottish, this bloke?
No.
What's going on with Athena?
What do you mean?
I mean, she's backing this person, so
Yeah, she backs them all. She backs them all the way. Yeah.
yeah. But a
There's
lot
the
of people
annoying
are saying he's a
Scotsman.
wrong.
Who's the annoying Scotsman under that same name?
Who's that?
Carl might know.
What, in the chat?
No, public annoyance comes up as the annoying Scotsman.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Well done for that, Moon, by the way. This is why I like Moon, because she's a great researcher.
That's what it comes up on Telegram as
And
well.
she's very good at doing all that. That's why I appreciate you, Moon. I've said this before.
Thank you, Jukes. I do try.
Yeah, you are. You're a very good researcher, and that's why I don't want to ever lose you.
I'm not going anywhere.
Exactly. She's very valuable. People underestimate Moon. They think she's just a moany old woman, but she's not. She's got hidden talents. But look, I'm up for criticism. It is a hidden talent. Moon knows me. She knows how I am. She gives it back to me as well. Don't think she don't. She does. One thing that annoys me about all this is, right, I'm up for criticising Tommy when I think he goes too far with the begging bowl, right? Now, I understand Dave's position of, well, he put his life on the line. He's the only one who stepped up. He can't really work. He ain't got no extra funds. But he has. If we be truthful, he's got his book sales. He's a good builder. He buys properties. He builds houses. He sells them on. There are avenues that he gets money from, if we're truthful. However, should he have to make these documentaries out of his own pocket? No. But if he wants to collect money for the documentaries, just be fucking transparent.
Yes.
That's all we're asking. No one is going to be upset if there's extra money and he spends it, he takes that as payment for doing the documentaries. Because to be honest, yeah, his voice does get heard when it comes to the grooming gang. No matter what anyone says, it does. There is no one as valuable as him for speaking out against the grooming. And the 14 might think they can do it better. Patriotical Alliance might think they can do it better. But the evidence shows that they fucking can't. Nick Griffin tried and fucking failed.
Yeah. Well, they even tried to lock him up, didn't they?
Yeah.
Now, like I was saying, there's a lot of people who live in and around that area where that young girl lived with her family.
Yeah.
Who dislike the family, and they are spreading rumor about the family, that they're scroungers, they're grifters, you name it, they're it. Now, why have they waited till now to come out with this? If they're such a bad family.
Exactly.
And another thing that's been held to question is Amy. Why did Amy become Nicole? Well, for me, that would be the most. That would be the first thing to do. Would be to change my name. If I'd been a victim of grooming, and with some fear of my life, I'd change everything.
Yeah.
But these rumors are getting bigger and bigger and they're getting spread.
Oh, Wendy, Cole says that he has shown invoices on his Telegram recently. He's trying to be transparent. If that's the case, you know,
Who
that
has?
kind of-
Who has?
Tommy Robinson, apparently. Cole Holmes says.
Which what on Telegram?
Apparently.
Oh yeah, where?
Is there any way you can prove that, Carl?
Yeah, he's saying there was these rumours are getting bigger. Well, that ship sailed because they're not going to get bigger than what people seen in that documentary. I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of people have seen that documentary. So yeah, good luck to those people who are spreading rumours on that council estate. Good luck to them.
Yeah, they're a bunch of cunts. Look.
I've lived on council estates all my life. I know how people are on council estates.
Jealous cunts.
Some of them are wrong ones.
They won't like it. What you will have is a bunch of people like what we deal with online, trolls. And you'll have people that will look at her and say, oh, well, she brought it on herself. Why did the dad let her work at 11? And to be honest, I don't know why the dad let her work at 11. I did question that myself. But that doesn't mean that they have the right to let the daughter be. That doesn't mean they have the right to take advantage and rape the daughter, right? That's number one. Number two, what you will get is jealousy. They will get jealousy. And also because Tommy Robinson has got this reputation that is not really fair, to be honest. It's just being racist and biased and everything. That clouds the judgment straight away. Do you understand what I mean? And the thing is, they're putting this family in danger by putting those rumours out. Now, what you've also got to remember, Wendy, and I've lived on council estates, Dave, I still do, right? What you've got to remember is when something spreads through a council estate and they think that you've lied about something as serious as this, you can get burnt out. They would wait until you're all in bed and they will burn your fucking house out. Believe me, they will, because that's what they do. Now, if we're saying that there is a bunch of groomers, and by the statistics that Tommy has brought forward, they might be in a very tiny minority in Telford, but most of them are involved in criminality, pimping, drug dealing, money laundering, and other criminality. If they are the major criminals in that fucking place in Telford, right, then they are going to be putting pressure on the local community. They will know the local community. The local community will know them and not want to turn against them because they know they will be in danger. And also, some of them might even like the local criminality. Because let's be fair, when you live on a council estate, you all know the criminals. And some people will know their families, they will know their brothers, their sisters, their relatives, and they will actually get on with them and turn a blind eye to a certain degree to what they do as long as they're not the fucking victims until they become the victims. So I don't believe necessarily what council estate people say. Because some of them are going to be attention-seeking begs like fucking Esau.
Yeah, it's not relevant for me.
The thing is, if they can prove that she had a baby, which they can, and the DNA proves that she was raped underage because the abortion happened when she was underage, case closed.
Yeah. Also,
Case
Tommy
closed.
Robinson's getting heat from people who don't like the shit he's been saying about other things, so he's kind of getting it from all sides at the moment. He's delved into a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Right,
he's delved into a lot of stuff he knows nothing about.
Oh. Wendy, I know why you taking aim at him.
So Mr. L says people like Wendy Wu and Jupiter are people who believe the lies. Well, not necessarily,
Mr. L.
because me and Wendy are not agreeing on everything, Mr. L. So you've got to... I'm more balanced than what you are, Mr. L. I know that Tommy might be prejudiced in his views to a certain section of society, right? And I know that might have been born out of his life experience. But that doesn't mean that he's lying about the incidences. His motives for wanting to talk about it might be in question, But that doesn't mean the incidences never happened. That's where you don't understand nuance. You don't understand and the complexities of it. And this is what pisses me off. It's not because Tommy's saying it that I listen to it. It's because I'm listening to the girl and the fucking evidence. Anyway, Wendy, what do you want to say? Because you do have slightly different views to me, and I'm not going to knock your views. I think it's only fair that we have balanced views.
Oh, hang on. I need to get in here and see. Look, what Tommy's doing in Telford is up to him, right? I don't know why the people who live, like you were explaining about, they're probably frightened and all the rest of it. But it seems to me that a lot of people are either jealous or I don't know. I mean, do we really know anything about the family apart from Nicole's story? No, we don't. But what annoys me about Tommy the most is this thing that's going on with the Ukraine at the moment. Because
she's gone off on an angle.
But he was quite a fan of Russia, wasn't he?
Well, you see, his main worry is he won't be able to go out there and give his fucking speeches, right? I never liked it when he went out there.
Yeah, I've got to agree. I agree with Wendy on this point, actually.
Yeah.
You know, I never liked it when he went out there to speak to the Russians about us. I mean, my God. I mean, is he really that silly that he thinks he can trust the Russians? And then he made that silly video last night, was 43 seconds long. This is a phony war, and you know, all of that rubbish. Tommy, keep your mouth shut about things you don't actually understand.
You see,
stick to what you know.
Yeah, this is what I agree with you on, Wendy. I think that as an ambassador for the grooming girls, absolutely 100% I'm behind him. When it comes to trying to fucking make us all like Putin, fuck off, mate. And I'm sorry, Tommy, that might wind you up the right way, but just because he's good to you, just because he pays you money to go out there, give speeches and fucking treats you like a king when you're out there, he don't do that for the rest of us, so we're not fucking bothered, right? And he might agree that the grooming gangs is wrong and everything else, but that don't mean fuck all to us if he's going to fucking bomb people that are innocent, you know.
You think Tommy Robinson's funded by Putin?
No, I didn't say that. I think he gets paid for his speeches, though, and I think that he probably does get given a privileged status when he goes out there to talk, because Putin wants anything that he can have against the West and humiliate the West, he will use it. So when Paul Golding and Tommy Robinson go out there, he loves it because it's Englishmen slagging off England.
They would have got paid by those TV stations.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Now
I don't think that was directly from Putin himself.
Now, Dave, I understand that Tommy's a businessman, and I understand that he wants money for his voice. Okay, fair enough. But don't sell out your country while you're doing it.
Yeah, don't go to fucking Russia to do it.
Yeah, it's bad enough that you're fucking, because then you ain't a patriot. What you're doing is you're making us look mugs. I've got to be honest, I agree with Wendy on that part. But when it comes to the grooming gangs within Britain, he is the best person to talk on it because he does know it inside out. And, you know, I will always stand behind him on the grooming gangs. But in other areas, I'm afraid he is lacking. I mean, I know that it upset you, Dave, when we said about him before on the jet ski going across the ocean when everyone else was suffering COVID.
Well, he still did it.
And then Dave was very critical of us and fucking put a video up, which is welcome to do. But we have to be nuanced. I mean, you might disagree, Dave. What do you think?
I think it's a part of a wider conversation. Unfortunately, certain people see Putin as being like one of the leaders against liberalism. So they think by him invading the Ukraine, he's going to get rid of, and these are these people's thoughts, not my own. He's going to get rid of homosexuality. He's going to get rid of liberalism. He's going to be a hardline conservative. That's the way they're seeing it. Unfortunately, their view is warped because Putin's just a fucking gangster. And he's not sort of part of some kind of fucking, he's not some kind of leader against the fight against liberalism and the cathedral. He's just not. He's just a gangster who wants to grab land. So unfortunately, anybody putting their support behind Putin, I think they're deluded and warped. And in regards to Tommy Robinson and Russia and Putin, I haven't seen any of it. But if he's in any way backing Putin, I don't agree with it.
Okay, so there's an idiot. This is the mentality. This is the fucking mentality, of some of Tommy Robinson's supporters. They are pointing at the war, right? So you've got to remember, people are being killed in the Ukraine at the moment, right? They are pointing at the war, so we forget about protesting for our freedoms.
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah.
I mean, hang on. What freedoms haven't you got at the moment? Everything's been lifted, hasn't it?
But it looked like, again,
that's a bit
that's another,
self-centered. Yeah.
No, but that's another. See, look, do I believe that politicians capitalize on whatever they can, and will they use certain instances to bury other incidences? I.e., they're going to try to. This is a great time to bury news. You got some shit hanging over you, bring it out now, because it's going to get buried in the news cycle because Russia's going to dominate. Does that mean that Russia isn't important, and does that mean that what's happening in Ukraine isn't a fucking war crime? No, it doesn't. But two things can exist at once. People don't seem to understand that. No, life isn't a movie where there's the good guy and there's the bad guy. It's just all grey. So yes,
I agree.
The West will use this situation to bury certain issues and move on from certain.
Yeah,
things.
that's gone on for decades, Dave. That's
I
gone on for
understand.
decades.
If anyone's trying to say this was orchestrated for them to get away from the things that have been going on in the West, no, that's ridiculous. Because Putin.
Well, that's what Tommy said.
What he said that. So then basically Putin is working with the Western. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, it's a phony war. It's all made up. It's propaganda. Yeah.
It's propaganda.
Yeah, he said that, Dave. Unbelievably.
So what's the invasion of Ukraine is propaganda?
Oh, yeah. Propaganda. I'll show you.
What does that even mean?
Well, one doesn't know when it comes to him.
And this is why we're saying that he needs to stick to the grooming gangs and freedom of speech in this country and not get meddling the other stuff.
I ain't been
What's
on
he called
Getter in
again?
fucking months, so I ain't seen
Oh, you're not missing a lot, Dave. You're not missing a lot, Dave.
I ain't seen any. Well, Manny agrees with him on this here. Manny
No,
jump on and
look,
tell
Manny
them-
is...
But Manny's a conspiracy theorist, even though
he loves conspiracies, old Manny, yeah.
So Manny, is Putin secretly working with Biden and Boris? They orchestrated this entire thing. Putin is WEF asset. Right. Okay.
Right, so
that is one hell of a conspiracy.
Here's what made me very angry. Because Tommy, keep your mouth shut on things you don't understand. All right, keep to what you know, and you'll be fine. So here we go.
Look, Toddy, what you need to understand is that me and Wendy, we support Tommy, but we're not blind supporters.
We're not sheep.
And if you're the kind of person that is
Yeah.
a blind supporter, even if we get proven to be wrong in a couple of weeks, we'll say, okay, well, Tommy's
We
proven.
got that one wrong. We got that one wrong. That's what we
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
But we're entitled to our opinion as we go along. That is us. You need to understand that.
No
Is it
one's
me or is
talking
his
about
nose
Canada.
getting fucking bigger? Right, let's have a listen.
I mean, I won't have a word said about him to do with the grooming gangs. I think he does brilliant on that.
Right, let's have a listen to his take, and it's T. Robinson absolutely nails the narrative in 45 seconds, right? Oh, let's have a listen.
We will now all notice, and maybe we're playing our part. Answer that question. Am I playing my part by reporting the Ukraine situation, by wanting to report on it, by highlighting it? Am I playing my part? Because the truckers, the vaccine failure, COVID-19, the oppression, all of it will now be replaced with a bullshit, phony war. That is the work of the elite, the cabal, and the headlines will be replaced. Fear-mongering will continue. And the poor people of Ukraine who don't want a war and didn't want a war are left in the middle of this mess.
I don't know why
So there's
people
the
conflate the
speaker.
two, man.
There's the fucking speaker for the world.
Yeah.
And it's all a phony war because obviously, you know, our suffering here. I mean, I don't know how we're suffering, but we are apparently.
Manny, come on and explain how he's 100% right. What is it that's phony about it?
No, Manny's just a fucking fan.
Because I need to understand the context of what he
And
means
he's saying
by
that
phony.
he's saying that Putin is a part of the globalist agenda, so they've orchestrated this conflict to deflect away from certain issues that people are talking about in the chat. So, for instance, Canada and these kind
But
of
hang
things.
on a minute. Wait, I mean, Seppard, don't tell me to keep my mouth shut. Yeah, somebody get rid of him, whoever he is. Right. If that's the case, Dave, how come then?
Yeah, I don't see
Everything
that.
rid of Seppard. How she slung him out.
Yeah, well, one of the mods, get rid of him. Well, he's not telling me to keep my mouth shut, Tube.
Yeah, that's just fucking rude.
Yeah, it's just rude. I'm sorry.
I don't have a spanner, by the way.
You don't?
No.
Oh, I'll give you. Yeah, I'll do that in a minute. I just want to make this point before I forget.
Got no
And I
mods in
forgot.
tonight, Wendy.
We haven't got any.
Don't
No.
look like it, no.
Cara.
Oh, because I'm on
she's
two
still here.
anyway. I'm on Wendy Wheel too. Hang on.
Politicians in the
Maybe
West
she'd
are
be a good mod.
capitalizing on
Violet
it.
would be okay.
I definitely think they're capitalizing on it, but I don't
Leo's
think
here.
they're in bed.
yeah.
Robert White's here. You could use him.
That's the thing when you go too far down that rabbit hole, you start to think everything's a conspiracy. It's like Putin is working with the
Seppard
West.
saying, "Dupes, help me."
He shouldn't be so bloody rude then, should
Yeah,
he?
don't tell Wendy
This
to shut
time-
up and you'll be all right. I
I
don't
think-
think he meant it as
Yeah, I
harsh
think
as it
a
came
time
across.
out would suffice. I think a
Yeah,
time
I
out.
don't think you need to just get rid of him completely.
But that's ultimately up to Wendy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just shoot him
He
in the
said
leg.
sorry. He said sorry.
Yeah,
Shoot-
don't do
shoot-
it again or you'll be gone.
Shoot him in the kneecaps. Don't shoot him in the head.
Yeah, don't
Wendy
do it
was
again
like,
or you'll be
"Get
gone.
rid of him."
Oh, fuck. He's just been deleted, man.
Oh.
Time him out. Don't delete him.
Oh, just time him out.
Yeah,
He
don't
did
delete him.
apologise.
Yeah, he said
apologised.
sorry. Yeah. Anyway, so look, what Tommy says about the groomers and all the rest of it, yeah. But I'm not going into this conspiracy theory or
Mhm.
believing it about the Ukraine because Tommy Robinson says so. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, no.
Well, of course not. Obviously, I don't agree with it. I don't have to fucking agree with everything he says. He's not Jesus.
Exactly. We can be critical of him without having to go against him. But this is what a lot of our audience need to understand, and we're trying to train them to be more analytical instead of just sheep.
Sheep, yes.
Unfortunately, the sheep turn against us every now and again, and we have to sort of like see the funny side and explain to them because sheep will be sheep. I don't agree with what Tommy said there, but I want to know what he means by phony. You know, he needs to expand a bit more on that because
Well, at the beginning of World War II, right up till Christmas of 1939, from September to December, if you like, from September to December,
Yeah.
because there wasn't really a lot going on. People in Great Britain were saying that World War II was a phony war.
Yeah.
It wasn't
exactly.
happening. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's quite evident that people are being blown to smithereens in the Ukraine as well.
Yeah, exactly. Hello, Manny.
Hello, good evening. How are we all doing?
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
Manny.
I heard somebody wanted a conspiracy theory being proven, so here I am.
God.
Just give me 1 second. Will I be able to share a
Yes,
video?
share what you like, love. Yeah.
Okay, just bear with me so I can get. Oh, here we go. So, can I just ask the panel? Where are you guys in terms of? Do you think someone like Justin Trudeau is an asset of the globalists, or do you think he's clean as anything?
Oh, he's a
No,
globalist.
he's an asset of the
Yeah.
globalists.
I think he's an awful person.
Yeah, I can't stand him.
Okay, so I'm not going to play the full video. Obviously, we'll just get to the meaty stuff.
Right.
Where are we? 14 minutes? Is it 4 minutes? Okay, if I could share my screen.
Yeah. Okay, love.
Sorry to be a nuisance.
Yeah.
I did notice as well that none of the Western leaders have denounced his behaviour.
Well, Boris has.
Okay.
I missed that then.
Yeah, them fucking Germans voted against heavier sanctions, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Fucking Germans, as Dave
Who
said.
was the other ones, Dave?
Italy and Hungary.
Oh, it was Italy.
Okay,
Oh
I'm
my
going to play
God.
it now.
Who's
World
this
War
then?
II vibes.
Fucking hell, this bloke looks like a
Yeah.
fucking robot. Anyway, yeah, go on.
Even Vladimir Putin and so on, they all have been.
I'll just rewind that bit.
Okay.
Okay.
When I mention now names like Mrs. Merkel, even Vladimir Putin and so on, they all have been young global leaders of the World Economic Forum. But what we are very proud of now is the young generation, like Prime Minister Trudeau, President of Argentina, and so on, that we penetrate the cabinets. So yesterday I was at a reception for Prime Minister Trudeau, and I know that half of this cabinet, or even more, half of this cabinet, are actually young global leaders of the World Economic Forum.
So what he basically means there, that full video is on the Manny Cinder, not the Manny Cinder Live, but the Manny Cinder channel. You can watch it. And multiple interviews with this chap and various other information. I've just compiled a number of videos because people find it easier to kind of not read and just watch something. And he's basically saying that all these world leaders are assets of the WEF, which is the World Economic Forum, and the video shows evidence how all these mouthpieces, including Trudeau, are doing exactly what this chap is telling them to do. For example, the lockdowns and the mandates and the Great Reset.
I can believe that.
So you also, like, if you go to the Speaker's Corner online live stream, which I hosted today, I even show images of Putin dressed in a Freemason overall with George Bush, and I believe it was the then Japanese Prime Minister, and also him extremely friendly terms with a certain PR company. So look, if you guys want a contract from Putin saying, yeah, I'm actually secretly working for the globalists, we're not going to be able to do that. We also have to use our initiative and put the jigsaw pieces together. But when the chap who founded the WEF comes out and says that guy's one of our assets, then you've got to kind of be a little bit adult about it in my eyes and say, well, there's at least a strong chance that Putin is playing from the same hymn as these guys.
So you think it's the Illuminati, the New World Order?
I don't know what they call themselves. I don't know. I just call them the globalists because I feel that I have enough evidence to say that there is a circle of extremely rich aristocratic type.
Right, I would go along with that. Yeah.
That are in sync and trying to change the world in their vision, but it's not like a vision of what someone like Jesus would have. It's a vision that they clearly are manipulating everything. I mean,
so if I said to you, Manny, and Wendy, tell me, and Moon, tell me individually if you agree. When rich people get really rich and there's nothing left for them to do, they can buy their sexual favors, like they can have any woman they want. They can buy any vehicle when it comes out. They can buy the latest trends. They can buy the latest houses, the biggest houses, and they get bored. They suddenly want to change the world. Now, you can either go do it for good and become an anthropologist, where you go out there and you give is it anthropologist the word?
Could I just
When you
interject
give
there?
money, or you can get involved in a circle, a secret circle, where you all decide what you put your ideas forward, and then you all work on a plan together to reshape the world.
There's actually
And I
two
think
types
that's
of
what-
money. There's two types of money. There's old money and there's new
And
money.
new money,
right?
yep.
So the likes of you and I. So take my grandfather for example. He went from rags to riches, and he lived a very prosperous life.
So what about riches to rags? Because my family's from old money. and
Right.
it does-
Okay. Well, that's
yeah.
slightly different. But my point is, I'm just giving you some. So my granddad had new money. He actually started doing a lot of charity work. He actually helped a lot of people, with their lifestyles and that type of thing. But he was a celebrated war hero anyway. So he did a lot of speeches and things like that. But when we're talking about people, globalists like royal families, we're talking about people like Bill Gates and all these others. This is old money. I mean, you've got to understand that they've robbed and they've tortured population from around the world for many generations, and that type of money is never going to go because they own the banking system in many ways, because they can deposit half their money into a bank and that's it. The bank's going to be a corporation until that money's there, and they get to earn more of the interest and so on and so forth.
If you put this down into layman's terms, there's a bunch of people that are very wealthy that, as a hobby, want to reshape the world and gain finance out of it.
My point was slightly different. So when these people are growing up, they're taught that the likes of you and I are just the shit on their shoe, right? So they kind of develop this hatred for the normal human being, right? It's what it seems to me, and that's what it's on the back of that they develop these systems, they develop these ways. Do you know how many times I've actually been asked to join the local Freemason club? Because they don't see me as some massive asset. It's because they see that there's going to be an income, and there's people with at least some level of money. Obviously I haven't got money compared to these guys, but some level of money that they'll be able to influence me, and they don't want me to go out and influence other people, right? So they keep a lid on certain kind of middle class people, even though they probably hate me as much as they hate anybody.
So do you think that's what it is when they ask people? Because as I understand it, you can only enter into these groups if you've been offered a place. Yeah,
it would seem so.
Yeah, right. And I do know people that have been offered a place, and you're saying that it's only just to keep them under control. Is that what you're saying?
It's part of it. You get some secrets. I mean, I know Freemasons and former Freemasons, or even though there's no such thing as a former Freemason, they still keep some, but they do share some information with you, and they do give them some information, like they'll say that the economy is going to go this way and that way, and this, that, and the other. But it's nothing too powerful. The thing is, most of these people that want to be as rich as possible, and they'll do bend over backwards to get that type of fame. You got to remember, these are narcissistic people, so they inherently, because of their mental state of mind, they're happy
Let
to
me
go around
ask you
thinking.
a question then, Maddie. Sorry to cut you in. Do you think if Tommy was asked to join Freemasons, he would do it?
Look, there's one question I've always asked myself, that when Tommy was under a lot of pressure in prisons, where a lot of these guys are definitely turned and say, look, why don't you come our asset? You do this and do that. Tommy doesn't seem to have turned, right? And there's no real suggestion that he may have done. I do have a friend who always questions my my support for Tommy, and he doesn't believe that it's possible that he could have stayed above the waters, if you like. But look, unless I can see some evidence wholeheartedly that is the case, then I'm not going to try to look for problems if there aren't any. My answer to your question is I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
Do you?
Well, I think he would.
Putin has just ordered
Well,
his soldiers to remove the Ukrainian government. So
yeah, that doesn't surprise me. But as for Robinson, you've got to remember he already goes to the House of Lords to visit his favourite lord. I do think he would be turned. Yeah.
Yeah.
If the price was right. Yeah.
So do I.
Yeah.
And that's the problem that I've got. I think Tommy's got good morals when it comes to grooming. I don't believe that he thinks that it's right that girls are groomed and everything, but I do think that he's a capitalist at heart. I think he's all for the money, and I do think that unfortunately, like you said, there's new money and old money, and people, when it's new money, they can be turned, they can be blackmailed, and I do think there's very rare individuals that can't be bought, to be fair. And I think this is what the aristocracy, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, the 1%, they know this. They know that most poor people can be bought out at some level. And even though to us, Tommy has made millions, and to the average worker, they probably think he's better off than them because he's having these holidays and freebies that his rich friends pay for, allegedly. He's still not mega rich. The mega rich could buy him out in 5 seconds, I think. And I think that is why we're critical of him, Manny. Not because his heart's not in the right place where the girls are groomed. Like I said, I think that there is no better spokesman out there. And for that, he does deserve a price. There is a price for his voice, and people should really pay him for his time and what he does for the grooming gangs. However, I do think he can be bought out because he's shown that he can be bought out by the grifting, and it's that worries us.
Well, look, I'll say this, and you guys can make of it whatever you want. For a while, I did go cold on Tommy. From a couple of years back, but I recently joined Telegram, and because the speakers gone online, they wanted me to send messages in their one. So I recently joined, and I started following Tommy. But I must admit, like, a lot of his political posts are in line and in sync with mine.
Of course they are.
Yeah, no, look, yeah, fine, that's okay. I know you guys critique me for that, and that's okay as well. But I'm just saying, like,
But I'm a bit in the middle because I agree with Wendy on some stuff, and I agree with you on others, and she laughs at me for it. So,
but I don't do my research like Tommy does. I'm more of a reader, and I really more study stuff on the back of my time as a financial trader. So the fact that we come to the same conclusions, and I can tell you right now, majority of the top traders in the world read one blog called Zero Hedge, and that is one of the best places to get geopolitical news from around the world. And guess what? All the authors on that blog all agree with what Tommy's saying and the things that I say, and the things what even, this is going to really make you laugh, what Alex Jones is saying.
Oh no, come on, Manny, please.
Look, I'm only telling you the things what I'm saying and what's confirming. Whether you agree with me is not. But
where I agree with Manny, Wendy, is this: there is an Agenda 2030. There was an Agenda 2021. We've seen it play out right in front of our eyes, even though everyone kept telling us it was a fake document. It didn't mean anything. There was no deals. And then we watched as they signed the Marrakesh Treaty and all these other treaties. And it was like, well, hold on, you're telling us that these documents are lies, but everything that's been laid out in these agendas, they're following it bit by bit by bit by bit.
It's happening.
And if you understand Ralph Massalamani and the NRX, remember he brought that Michael fella along? What was his name? Michael Murray, whatever his name was, right? If you follow him, you would understand that the NRX actually fits into the agenda, right? But we had a lot of propaganda that went out where you had the left saying that it was all the right that were doing this agenda, this globalist agenda, and then you had a lot of propaganda saying no, it was the left. Actually, it's a mixture of the both because the NRX don't fucking give a fuck about any of us, right? This is where I agree with Manny. There is an agenda out there, and at the World Economic Forum, you can go there and you can see now exactly what Agenda 21 and 2030 was. It's all there now. They're not hiding it no more. And this is where I tend to agree with Manny, because this stuff I was well aware of years ago. And they were saying that was a conspiracy. Look at the COVID injections. I know, Wendy, you still really believe in it, in this COVID. And I'm not saying that COVID didn't exist, but I don't agree that it was as severe or as bad as what they said it was. And I think they're talking that they did scaremonger people into taking injections. They said the first one would be 95%.
Why would they want to do that, though?
Cover it. Well, if you're a real conspiracy theorist, they say it's because they feed off your fear. If you're not that far down the line, you would say it's just because they want to manipulate you with fear, and they manipulate you in like sheep into economic sort of areas. So masks, buying masks, funding and laundering their money into.
So about the people who've died of COVID.
Into the PPE equipment. I mean, look at that couple in Barbados, Wendy. That couple they had a PPE equipment, right? They were raking in less than £1 million a year, but they could live off that for their equipment. Suddenly, COVID hit through funding through the government and everything else. They're multimillionaires living the life of luxury over in Barbados, and you can bet that the people that gave them the contracts got a backhander, made them wealthier. They've laundered the money.
That does happen. But what I'm saying is COVID did exist and it killed people. And it's still around. It hasn't gone anywhere.
Well,
COVID exists and it did kill people, but not on the level what they're saying. And actually, there's much more. Look at all the people that died of heart attacks that didn't go to hospital because they were scared to call an ambulance because of COVID. Look at all the people that have died of cancer treatment. They now reckon how far behind are they? 3 years behind?
Also, it's worth noting.
5.
It's worth noting that the average age of anybody that died with just COVID was 89 years old, and the average life expectancy for a woman is 87, and the average life expectancy for a man is 79. So
exactly
right. So we all that has to be taken into consideration. But I'm gonna have to go because I actually promised my my wife I'd watch a movie with her. She blackmailed me into it. So I've got to go. But I did.
Oh, Manny has a wife. We're heartbroken. Like finding out.
No, Manny, you didn't say you had a wife.
Manny, you fucking destroyed all our illusions. How dare you?
It's okay.
We thought you were like the Beatles. How dare you do this to us? You do realise we're going to have a little Telegram group now hating on Manny's wife.
But I did a first daytime live stream with Speakers Corner Online. So they've asked me to host that every single day, Monday to Friday. So hopefully you guys can.
Oh right, okay then. Yeah, we'll have a look.
Is that going to be like an all-dayer, Manny? Because we're looking for a channel where reasonable speakers like ourselves can go. Moon, Moon's a lovely speaker. I don't know if you've met her before.
I haven't. Hi, Moon.
No, we haven't met before.
But she's very knowledgeable. She loves sitting on channels talking to people. She's just like me and Wendy. And we need what we call a sane channel that we can go on where people are going to be treated fairly. Yeah. Where we can basically do all the work because we'll sit on there, but where we're trusted enough and respected enough that if we were to say, look, if we had admin and we chuck someone off, that you're not going to look. We don't mind being questioned, but you're not sort of going to say to us, "Well, no, I want you to sit there for the views and take abuse." We don't want that shit.
Yeah, none of that. None of that happened, and I also stopped Ralph and Hassan that came on today, and I did pre-warn them that if they ever got a bit hairy with each other or with anybody else, then we'll have to deal with it. But this is going to be like a debate channel, so even look at me and Wendy, we're always on the opposite side of an argument, but we can look how civil and friendly we are with each other. And
you're so handsome. You're so handsome.
Thank you very much. Oh, say it again. I need to record it. I'm only joking. So
yeah, but I'm already put off a little bit because if Hassan's on there, then there's no point. He talks over everyone. He's like Esau.
But it was only Hassan and Ralph on today. So
I see what he's saying. Yeah.
So if somebody wants to have a debate or argue, and somebody's kind of derailing it, then they'll be put in the back room until.
Oh, you won't allow it. Oh, that's good. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's cool.
good.
I'm going to be working at the same time, so I won't be putting up with any nonsense anyway. So yeah.
Oh no, you don't. You never used to on your own show anyway. You
Yeah,
used to have
it's been
Raj's little segment for that, didn't you?
I had enough.
Yeah, because that's what we need. I mean, me and Wendy, we like doing our own shows, but when we're not doing our own shows, we love interacting with other people.
It's a much more fun when you go onto somebody else's channel because you're free to speak and you're not worrying about all the other things that goes with hosting the thing. So I get it. So I'm going to be working next week. I'm going to be working from their studio, so I'm not going to be too inundated. But I'll keep an eye on it, obviously, and I'll be the person that comes onto the mic and stuff when we need me.
Okay, so from Monday we can try going over to Speakers Corner.
Yeah, of
online.
course. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Awesome. More than welcome, everybody, and you as well, Moon.
Thank you. I'm already subbed, by the way.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to go watch House of Gucci, which is an awesome film, by the way. If you haven't watched it, it's really
big up Mrs.
Oh,
Manny.
House of Gucci. Yeah, good. Yeah, big up Mrs. Manny. Yeah.
Oh, Wendy.
All right, ladies, have a lovely evening. I'll speak to you soon.
And you have
All
fun.
right. Night, Manny. Night, love.
Wow, that was a bit of a bombshell, wasn't it?
What?
Who knew he was married?
Oh, I knew. I already knew. I've heard him mention his wife before, but
I never knew that he was.
He did look very handsome. He did look very handsome the other night, and I'll keep telling him that he looked very handsome.
Yeah, Wendy. I have to watch her when she's around Manny. I'm telling you. Her guard drops a little bit. Oh, Manny, you're so handsome. Giggle, giggle, giggle.
No, I do like him as a person and as a guy of intelligence.
Yeah, he is intelligent.
Who is able to run a stream without it getting out of hand. His streams used to be brilliant before.
Well, this is what I was saying today. You know, when Real goes on, oh, I made all the speakers put on speech. No, we was all on Manny's well before you little turd. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Used to make me laugh because it'd be all sane when Manny was on, and then Raj would take over at 10 or something. It would go all nuts, wouldn't it?
Did you hear Irish Flame? Did you read what she's wrote? She went, Wendy got fanny flutters on Wednesday night.
Irish. I don't even think like that. No. He's just a nice guy. He did look very handsome on Wednesday.
He looked very handsome on a Wednesday. Oh, God. It is funny though because they flirt in a kind of posh way, and I do, I do like to watch it. Oh, Wendy, you're very handsome. Yes, Wendy. Hassan, if you talk to my Wendy like that again, I'm going to have to remove you.
I must say, the other night when Hassan did what he did, you know, Hassan got removed instantly. I mean, there was no.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what we need, somebody who's sensible that can see when it's going too far, because we don't mind men coming at us strong with their opinions, but when they go into personals, it's just disgusting. And the good thing is with Manny that Manny does understand that. He gets it, and so does Raj, even though Raj can have a laugh.
Yeah.
They do get it. They understand respect for women, like Hector. Do you know what I mean? They don't like all that shit.
Yeah.
It's what I call old school men. Yeah.
But ladies, I don't think we're going to be very popular with certain people now, because I think they thought that video was some sort of we were going to look at the video. No, I think the video we just watched up. I think they thought we were going to look at that video and see what they saw. I didn't really. I've got to admit, I didn't.
No.
With the public annoyance thing.
Yeah, I didn't see what they saw.
Wendy, we can only be true to ourselves. Everybody's entitled to have a different opinion, but I still say to this day that there's no better man for the job talking on grooming gangs than Tommy. He gains attraction.
I agree. I do agree.
Yeah,
with that.
And the public do listen to him on that. I don't agree with what he said about Putin. I don't. But then again, maybe we need to look in a bit further. I don't know.
I've looked in a bit further. Yeah.
He has stuffed a lot of things up, and he's done that himself, and he needs to put that right. But, you know, I just find it very strange that they would start picking fault with this girl.
And the next one, and the next girl.
Oh, they've already got the second one that they're ready to bring down. Nah, this is taking the piss then. Because what are they going to do? Go girl after girl after girl saying it's all lies?
I don't know, but I definitely know that.
That's what Athena. Sorry, right? I like you, Athena, and I've got good respect for you and Mandy. But if that's what you're going to do, take down every girl to get at Tommy, then you're cunts.
Well, I think they thought that we see that. Like, to me, it was nitpicking and it was and what kind of thing. Okay, and what? That's all I got to say about it, because
well, the thing is, I want to say this one thing about public annoyance, right? There's some things he says I agree with. Actually, there's quite a few things I agree with, but not everything he says. But I did notice in the back of Reels Telegram, when he managed to gain access to it, that because we didn't comment on what he was posting in there when he started being abusive towards us, I was like, hold on a minute. This man's being abusive towards us for what? Not posting, not answering him?
Yeah,
basically. Is he taking the piss? And the way that he was abusing us was on the fact that we were female.
Yeah, and he moans about getting abused himself. And yet the minute we don't behave the way that he thinks we were going to behave, he started to abuse as
Another
well.
control freak. We're not allowed to have minds of our own, and I don't like that.
And he needs to get his name up there. I mean, if that's him, I've just watched. He's not Scottish. I don't know why
he's not Scottish. He's not Scottish, no.
And to me, it's just another toothless scruff bag wandering around, picking holes in what somebody else is doing. And I don't like that. If someone comes along with a solution, if someone comes along and says, well, you know, you're not doing that right, you're making a crap job of that, I can do better. But they're not. This is just posting shit on YouTube.
Well, it was a little bit egotistical, wasn't it? Because at the end of it, he's taking the piss out of Tommy, and he had that little flipping eyes video, or whatever that was. Yeah. And then he puts his photo there as if he fucking thinks he's all cool with a pair of sunglasses.
Yeah, can I just discuss for a second? What was that at the end with Tommy and the picture thing? And
but he was just trying to take the piss out of Tommy, weren't it? It was just unnecessary. You're trying to have a serious video and you go and do that at the end.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, is he competing with Tommy on looks? What was the last picture about? What was public annoyance picture doing there? That's vain. And yet he's trying to have a dig at. He's trying to have a dig at Tommy for, it's not all about him. I mean, to me, it looked like two men peacocking. I'm not going to lie.
Yes. And it's not funny.
No, it's not. This is a serious fucking issue. Girls getting groomed and raped is a serious fucking issue. And we don't need men peacocking over who's the fucking white knight. No, I'm not having it.
Well, they're ready for the next one, which Ellie.
Okay.
Remember Ellie?
If they start
it's Andy Riches, his name.
If they start in on Ellie, they better have their evidence, because I tell you what, there's no way you're going to change my mind. That girl weren't raped, Wendy.
No, Jupiter, don't get me wrong. When I mention this, it's only the information I've been given, and I know that I don't
Well,
know. I mean,
I
yeah.
remember when she first come to light, right? When she was asking people to help her before Tommy got involved, before Children Matters got involved. I remember her on Facebook asking people to help her, right? And when she put the photos out, Wendy, it broke my fucking heart that nobody believed her when it was fucking evident. Have you seen? I don't know if you've seen rape cases, right, where they're the what I call fingertip bruises, Wendy.
Yeah, of course I've
Right,
seen it.
where men have grappled a woman so much with their fingers they've left what you call little circular bruises, and she had hundreds of them. Wend, hundreds of them, all
she's
up
the
her
next one.
thighs, all up her thighs, all round her backside. Oh my God, Wendy, it was disturbing.
Well, she's
Horrific.
the next. She is the next one, and they're going after her too. So
Yeah, black eye. There is no way the injuries that they say were self-inflicted were self-inflicted. There's no way you could do it, Wendy.
No.
And believe me,
I think
I've
it's more about
known-
the fact. I think it's more about the fact that Tommy was on that case, and then he walked away and left it.
Yeah, but why did he leave it? Was he?
I don't know. I don't know.
Put away. I don't, because I know Children Matter got very heavily involved in it, and I've got nothing against Katie Jane Swallow. I think she done well with that. She got her into the public profile. She had her on talking and stuff. But let me tell you this much. I don't want to get too much into it because we'll wait for the documentary. But there was one of the family members was heavily involved in a political career. And it seems that there might have been pressure for her to shut her mouth.
Yeah.
Well,
on the left.
Yes.
I don't know, love, but
I think
Ellie's
she was
next.
a counsellor or something like that.
Ellie- after Ellie, I mean, I don't know who it is, but yeah, don't be making videos that don't make any sense.
And you do know that just to add, sorry, Wendy, you do know that it wasn't Ellie that actually brought it to the public eye. It was her sister who couldn't bear to see her suffer no more and said, look, this is what's happened to my sister. This is what's happening. No one's listening. She's being silenced, and I think it's disgusting. It was her sister that brought it out to light, not Ellie herself. And then Ellie spoke out about it. So I want to see because I remember all this. See, this is when I was heavily invested because I wasn't spending so much time on YouTube.
Yeah.
This is when I was following, but being more of a follower. And so I observed a lot more. And I'm telling you, there is no way that Ellie was capable of fucking the self-injuries herself. There's no way, Wendy, no way on this earth. When I saw that, my heart, when I saw the photos, and they were pretty graphic, Wendy, hardcore, my heart broke.
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
I'm just saying what's going to be next, and you know, we can expect another video, I suppose.
Yeah, but at some point, if they carry on doing this to every fucking girl that's been groomed, we're going to have to call them out. We're going to have to ask them what's their motive.
Yeah.
Because what's their alternative? It's all very well keep turning up saying, "Oh, this is wrong and that's wrong and this is wrong and that's wrong." Well, what's your alternative, love?
That's what I mean. Are they going to step into Tommy's shoes? What are they? What? He's roaming around talking to himself, from what I've seen. Done nothing.
Yeah.
Done nothing. And the next minute it'll be, here's me PayPal.
You know, and if they're going to call out Tommy for grifting, and don't get me wrong, I do think that he takes a little bit of advantage, right? Having said that, maybe if he made his accounts more transparent, we might say, oh, actually, he's not taking that as much as we thought he was, right? Because we also have to remember that he does have alternate avenues of finances, which is his book writing and the fact that he builds houses and sells them on, right?
Yeah.
And we don't know how much of his lifestyle is funded by that as opposed to donations, Wendy. We don't.
Well, he has every right to have some sort of fucking career. I mean,
Yeah, and I do think that him using his voice, he does deserve to be paid for that, considering that he comes under attack for it. Yeah. But I do think that there is a point when you have to ask, is that necessary? Is that necessary? But that doesn't mean I begrudge him actually asking for funds, because I think that to a certain extent he does have a right to ask for funds. And if people want to give it, no one's forced with a fucking gun, but he just needs to be a little bit more transparent. That's my only criticism. When it comes to it taking his son to a boxing match, no, come on, Tommy, you should know.
Yeah.
You should have known better, but that's all right. You took that criticism and you've moved on from it. But I mean, you should have known better there. But when it comes, excuse me, because I did burp then, but it comes to, sorry, it comes, but I do think he deserves to be paid for his voice, because nobody else can do or get it into the mainstream like he can. And it doesn't matter what people say. Everyone says about Maggie Oliver. I'm sorry, no one listens to Maggie Oliver like they do Tommy Robinson. You might get
the mainstream media do, love. They'll listen to her.
The mainstream do, but who listens to the mainstream these days, Wendy?
Quite a lot of people.
I don't know. There's a lot of people turned away. There's a lot of old people that listen to the mainstream. There's not many youngsters, and it's the up-and-coming youngsters that we've got to entrust to take over all this kind of stuff.
Well, all my kids listen to mainstream news. They wouldn't dream of listening to
but will
Tommy
they
Robinson or anything like that.
Will they put out Maggie Oliver articles and interviews? No one's going near her. We know why.
I mean, she was in the Big Brother fucking house, you know what I mean?
Right,
I mean,
but okay, Wendy. So if she was in the Big Brother house and she gets paid for her interviews on fucking mainstream media, what's the fucking difference?
Well, she doesn't hate Muslims. Sorry, got that wrong. She doesn't hate Islam.
But Tommy has a right to hate Islam if he wants.
That's a different... No. You asked me what the difference is, and that's it.
Well, if that's the only difference, they can go swing. Because
that's
everybody has a right. If I wanted to sit here and say I do not like the Jewish faith and because of their scriptures, I've got a right to say that. If I say I hate Jewish people, then I haven't got a right.
Exactly.
And this is what people need to understand. We've got too many low IQ people in this country, I'm telling you.
If I mean, look at it. And another difference is obviously the EDL. I mean, even now, Tommy Robinson, former of the EDL, he's never ever, he's never ever gonna get that off him, if you know what I mean.
No, but where the beauty is, Maggie Oliver is never going to get fucking 100,000 or 10,000 or even 5,000 people on the streets standing there making action on the ground.
But why not? Why not though? This is what I don't get. Why not? If she's for the same thing, why not? Why can't people? Do you see what I'm saying?
I guess it might be a man thing. We need a man to get through to the men that it's wrong.
Yeah.
And because we have got a country full of misogynists, and we have, I never used to think that, but I think we have. I think men like my husband and other people, and Manny Cinder and others that are decent are very rare these days. Dave, other people that understand that you have to respect women, they're rare.
It's men committing these crimes, and it needs to be men addressing it. Otherwise, it just looks like a feminine onslaught.
Yes.
And they just take no notice.
And then they dismiss it as third
yeah, so look at all the man haters.
So as much as women can stand up and say, listen, this is going on, we do need a man from the manosphere to say these women are right.
Yes.
And I know that's going to upset every fucking feminist out there, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
Well, because Tommy's got so much baggage and he's hated by so many people in the media. Yeah. That's
This is
why
the
they
shame
treat
of it.
that's why they treat him the way they do in the media.
Yeah, but
they can't give him a fair chance.
Yeah,
if
but
you know
Wendy,
what I
they
mean.
should, and they should be like me and you, be able to
But
criticise
they
him
won't.
when he's
No, they
wrong
won't.
and be
They
fair
could-
when he's right.
They
Because just
create the
because-
media created the monster.
I mean, we
in my
don't know
opinion.
nothing about Maggie Oliver. She might be a right spiteful bitch in real life, but no one's going into her private life. No one's asking her what her personal views are when she's talking about grooming gangs.
Okay, so you see, if they
Whatever Tommy's motive is, Wendy.
look, you got to look at it this way, right?
Yeah.
If they start listening to Tommy, if they start allowing Tommy Robinson on mainstream media to spout everything that he likes to talk about,
Yeah.
well, then they're going to have to let on Chowdhury again.
No.
Yes.
Right. No. And I'm going to explain why. They're not going to let Tommy come on and talk as if he hates people of colour. If he was to do that, they'd have to stop that kind of speech. But
Well,
if he
you're on
comes-
about. I'm on about Islam. He talks about Islam.
Yeah. So if he comes on and he's only talking about the grooming gangs and and it's proven facts that it links to Islam, then we need to see that. Yeah.
A bit like his Oxford speech.
That's it. After all, do we not let people go on to the BBC and Channel 4 and ITV claiming that our system is fucking systematically racist and that white people are privileged?
Yeah, but that's different. They will
No, it's
allow
not
that.
fucking different. It's exactly
But
the same.
that's what the media will allow, though. That's what they want.
I know, and that's what's wrong.
But if they allow Tommy on to talk about, Islam and the grooming gangs, the next thing you know, Chowdhury's will be crying out, "I've got to."
No, it's not the fucking same. Chowdhury wants to go on to say how the West are bad and how he wants to blow them up. Tommy is not instigating violence. All he's saying
But to the media, Jupiter, they're the same. To the media,
yes,
there's
and
no
that's why
difference.
the media are wrong. It doesn't make it right just because to the media that's what they believe. I'm sorry, Wendy. This is
No,
where
you're not understanding me, Jupiter. You're not understanding me at all. I'm not saying that the media are right. I'm just trying to point out that the media sees no difference between Tommy Robinson and Admiral Chowdhury. Nothing. There is, Admiral, whatever his name is. Right? No difference at all. Because when
but
that
it's about
guy,
time that the mainstream media got re-educated and got their fucking. But you see, they're all pandering to the elites.
Yeah.
When
even GB
that
News
guy-
have lost the bottle.
Yeah. Now look. When that guy did what he did outside the mosque, right, and with the van, yeah, and they tried to make out that he did it because he was influenced by Tommy Robinson.
Yeah, but that was a load of bullshit as well.
Yes, Jupiter, I know. Let me finish, right? He was influenced by Tommy Robinson, right?
Yeah.
Not long after that, I saw an interview where people were saying, well, terrorists get influenced by Chowdhury. So there's not any, you got because they will call Tommy far right. You got far right Tommy who influences people to do terrorist acts. And you've got far right Chowdhury who does the same. Now, I can see the difference between Chowdhury and Tommy Robinson. It's clear to me, right? But the media will not. They will not do that anymore. They will put the pair of them together.
Yes.
No, they
I
can
agree.
see the difference. They're just too frightened to say it.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, the fact of the matter is this, and for people who don't know the difference, let me point out what the difference is. Tommy Robinson, even if that bloke if I go onto a website and I sign up to something and the bloke who's running it doesn't know that I've signed up to it, but because I'm on the mailing list, I get mailing copies of what he says. It doesn't mean because I go and shoot somebody later on that, and I've got a copy of that the two are linked. However, Ali Dawah, there was a bloke that was actually threatening Tommy Robinson. That Ali Dawah claimed that there was no link to him, but there was more of a link to him than the tenuous link to Darren Osborne and the fucking mailing list.
Look, that mailing list isn't even a fucking link. It's just something. Do you know what I mean?
Of course, it's not a link, and this is what I'm saying, Wendy. We know that that's what the mainstream media do, but we have to educate people the fucking nuance in it and the complexity in it, and show them. And it isn't even that fucking complex, but we have to show them how. This is fucking different. If you're gonna fucking let someone swing on that fucking tenuous link, and there isn't even a link there, then no.
They did though, didn't they? I mean, even to this day,
I'm not accepting it. I'm not accepting it.
You know, even to this day, when they mention that, they bring in Tommy. Yeah, because you know he did it because he did Tommy Robinson, blah 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 blah. But you see, there's a world of difference between Tommy and Chowdhury, as far as I'm concerned.
There's a big difference. But as Tommy Robinson said, he would still allow everybody to have their free speech. The fact is, they can't shut down Tommy Robinson just because it doesn't fit the political agenda.
Hello.
Yeah.
Well, I was wrong about Kiev anyway. I know that much.
What's happened, Dave?
I was wrong about Kiev.
Oh, that's one thing I've learned over all these years. Don't ever argue with Wendy when it comes to military. She knows the fucking dog's bollocks on that. She knows it inside out like a cat's arsehole. I'm not joking. That's why when it comes to hard questions, I go, ask Wendy. Wendy?
Nah,
because she knows.
I didn't factor in the fact that they're not a member of NATO. And obviously we're a bunch of pussies and we're not going to do anything. But yeah, crazy times.
Well, what did you get wrong about it then?
That they're not a member of NATO.
Hmm.
So I was thinking, some reason I had it in my head like they was a member of NATO. And I thought, well, yeah, if they invade, then obviously...
Who, Ukraine?
Yeah, Ukraine.
No,
but they're not.
No.
So they're just going to let them swing like they did Poland, basically. In the 40s.
Well, Dave, I know this sounds really wicked, right? But we've got to protect ourselves. We're not part of the EU. The EU want to go and do something. Go and do something. Don't drag us in, you cunts.
I don't know.
We need to start acting like we're not one of the superpowers and that we're only...
Yeah, we got to stop punching above our weight. That's what we've got to do. Stop wanting to keep up with these countries that enjoy
Stop looking
war.
outward and start looking inward.
Yeah.
And before you know it, they'll all be looking at us with envy again. That's what we need to do, Dave.
Or the re-emergence of the Russian Empire will happen. Right,
So
before
what?
the very eyes.
I don't care if there's a re-emergence of the Russian Empire as long
Look,
as they're not telling British people what to do and we've got our borders secure.
If they get strong enough, they will eventually.
Oh, look, Dave, right?
Yeah, but if our borders are secure and we concentrate on an army, we'll blow the cunts up.
Yeah, now
Well,
wait a
we're
minute.
gonna
Right,
go
hang on,
with
wait a minute. Wait,
society.
right? Russia, the Soviet Union, even when they were the Soviet Union and Russia, yeah, they can build up their military might, okay?
Yeah.
But they have a problem, and it's a big problem, and they have to choose. It's always been the same. They can build up their military might, or they can concentrate on the infrastructure and the feeding of their own people.
Yeah.
Right? And Russia has never been able to do that.
Yeah, life's cheap in Russia, yeah.
Life is very cheap. And
Or
whenever...
as Winston Churchill would say, they're subhuman.
well, no, wait a minute. So, to me, Russia, if it's built up its military might, economically, and to feed the people and keep the people happy of its country, they're not going to be able to do it, and that's going to be their downfall.
Yeah, but that's all very well and good. But how many times do you get a fucking revolution in Russia? When was the last one? What, when they killed the royals? Since then, they're a bunch of sheep. Putin, Lenin.
No, they're not cheap. There's been look, they've been out protesting today. They don't want war. So what's Putin done? Yeah,
He arrested them
he
for
arrested people and he's cut off social media for them.
Yeah,
So
of
they're only going to get one news feed going in.
Fucking disgusting.
Yeah, but if you're sitting back hoping for a political revolution in Russia,
I mean, that's dictatorship at its worst.
I wouldn't wait.
Dave, I'm not hoping for a political. You're not listening. A political
I
revolution.
am.
I'm
People
saying Russia can't do both. They can't. Like we would be able to go to war with another country, like we did, say, in Iraq. Did any of us here suffer food-wise?
No.
Did any of us suffer? Well, in Russia, that's what happens.
Right. I understand that, but you have to factor in China, don't you?
Not really.
Yeah.
Because
China
China, right, isn't stupid. China exports far more than it imports, right?
Yeah.
And it'll be sitting back and it'll be watching what's going on.
Yeah.
And sanctions on China will destroy China. It's all of us buying cheap Chinese goods or whatever that has built China up the way it is. And if sanctions get put on China, it'll destroy the economic thing of China.
But that would be like hitting the brakes on a train when it's doing top speed, wouldn't it?
Not really. No, I refuse to be made afraid of Russia or China. And I won't I just won't
when
be.
the COVID showed, when we couldn't, the shortages we had there.
Look, a fucking virus, right? A virus, to me, a virus, right, is something you can't control, okay?
No, not the virus. The supply chain got broken with COVID. When they had all the shutdowns in China and the supply chain was broken, we had massive shortages here.
Of what?
Yes, and why? Why?
I never had
because we over depend on China.
Hold on a minute.
And
wait a minute. Every time I went to shops, there was everything I needed.
No, Dave, you're not listening.
PPE.
Which is why you put sanctions on China and you get the goods made somewhere else. Therefore, we don't have shortages. No, when it comes to fucking...
But we didn't even really need the PPE, Dave.
What people would fucking starve? What are you talking about?
They made us believe we needed PPE. Fucking...
What are you on about? People would
starve. The fucking stuff. In the first place, we didn't need the PPE.
Well, okay, businesses would, like your pound shops and all these things, they go bust.
When fucking Freedom for Britain used to come online and go, my wife had a COVID and I never caught it, and I laid in bed with her, I thought, oh, what a boring cunt, he's a liar. My daughter had COVID. No one else in the house caught it. Not one of us.
But I'm not talking about the virus. I'm not talking about a virus. I'm talking about how heavily we depend on China for our goods. That's what I'm talking about.
So if the situation changes,
it's going to take about 6 years.
And China rises as an ugly fucking head, right?
Yeah, which it is doing.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So we stick sanctions on them. We don't buy no goods, and other countries don't neither, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we get everyone, some other country to make it. India, say, right?
That takes about 6 years.
It doesn't. Dave, you're talking silly. Dave, you're being silly.
So what period of time do you think it would take to move the operation of
India already makes India already makes a lot of stuff for this country.
On what scale? On
a big scale.
If you think
I'm not going to be forced. I am not going to be forced to be afraid of China or Russia.
No. But what I'm saying to you is the West needs to start to take steps to move away from the dependency we have on China. If we did it as quick as you're suggesting, it is going to be a bit painful. I'm willing to
Yeah,
feel that pain.
but
Well, we
I'm
need
willing
to
to do that.
Yes,
But these greedy businessmen aren't. Look at what
Well,
Germany's
it's not.
just
Hang on,
done with
wait.
Russia.
Don't just blame businessmen. Let's blame the public too, because we're greedy as well. We want stuff instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
And as cheap as possible.
And that's why I don't believe that we're ever going to do what you're suggesting, because unfortunately people
will.
just don't have the will to do it.
Well, if it comes between, breaking the back of China through economic sanctions and war, well, I think some people might prefer the first option.
But Wendy, here's the reality: Germany, Italy, and Hungary has just gone against those plans. Major nations in Europe has just refused to put harsher sanctions on Russia as they're invading.
Well, yeah, because they need Russia for their fucking gas.
Exactly. So, what
do we
countries are going
actually
to
need
agree to
China
this?
for? What is China? What cheap stuff?
Yeah, a load of old crap.
Yeah.
Well, no, they manufacture your TVs, your fucking your systems, your phones.
Well, I have a fucking British TV. If I pick something up that says made in China in it, I soon put it fucking back down.
Yeah,
again.
9 times out of 10, I will.
But a lot of people don't.
Not
a lot
bother.
of China's products are shit, although I will say that their Huawei's phones are pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I've got, unfortunately, but I had no choice. It was.
We've got to stop being a greedy society and stop relying on all these countries.
Yeah, but if they weren't look, I would pay a little bit extra if I thought that we was having the factories back here and the people here were making it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They won't return manufacturing to Britain.
It should never have got like this.
Thailand or somewhere like that.
Never say never, Dave. Never say never.
Where we're reliant on another country for virtually everything.
See, I was listening to Esau today, and the way he was going on about fucking Putin, right? I thought, well, why don't we just get you and put a fucking yellow stripe right down your back?
Maybe he's Ukrainian.
No, he was terrified. He's a coward.
What's he terrified?
He's terrified.
Well, he might get
Putin.
called up.
And he might end up being in the fucking army or something, having to go and do something. Or other,
yeah, but I thought he was in the
know.
reserves and accidentally shot himself. See what I mean? Bullshit.
Yeah.
TA, love, not the reserves. The TA, yeah.
I know
Yeah, well, he would. Yeah.
2,000 troops in Latvia, aren't we?
I have to laugh because I tell you something. If we went to war, right, and they didn't have an age limit, I'd fucking sign up to shoot a few bastards.
Carl, China, hang on. Carl, China could not take Australia. Okay?
In what
Let's
way?
be clear on that.
Take Australia? What?
Uh-huh.
Invade?
Invade, yeah.
No, they couldn't.
Nuclear power, aren't they, Australia?
Yeah, yeah.
No, they're nuclear free, aren't they?
Yeah, but who's their ally?
Oh, Victoria, behave yourself. Medical services needed PPE. They fucking scaremongered us into believing it was worse than it was. They killed people by putting them on fucking machines that they didn't need, stuffing things down their throat when they didn't need it.
Oh, that's a whole new can of worms, that one.
Well, I do know that at that point, right, when the PPE was short, and then it started coming through again, my son rang me and said, I'm going to send you loads of masks, mother, right? And I went, oh, right, okay, yeah, whatever. I always do. I just say, yeah, okay. It's pointless arguing with him because he doesn't listen. And they arrived and I opened it and I was horrified and I rang him and I couldn't believe it. I said, why are you sending me masks that are made in China? I said, this is the course through fucking China.
Bastards fucking gave it and now they're benefiting from it. Yeah, exactly.
The lateral flow test are made from there as well.
Mine come back negative, by the way.
Oh,
so
I didn't think you had it, Moon.
No.
I didn't think you did.
Here
Dying
comes
of something
the
else.
Esau was in the Salvation Army. Yeah, I can just see him dancing through the streets with a bonnet on.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
India
produced very
did. I think it was the Pfizer one India made. India made lots of the vaccines. But yeah, I was horrified. I said, so they've caused this,
Yep.
and we've got a shortage, and now you want me to wear a mask from China. Ooh, it's what they give us. So they were giving the NHS masks that were made from China. To me, it was just, yeah, okay.
Listen, if it really came down to it, and I think in the end it happened anyway, local people would have made their own masks. What's wrong with doing a fucking YouTube video and sticking it on the telly as a
There's
fucking
loads
advert?
of them. Loads of,
Cloth masks don't work.
What do you think that they did during the war, Dave?
What?
What do you think they did during the war? They would tell people what to do to fucking. They would say, right, get
think they
this,
would have
get
done
this, and
multiple
make this,
things.
and make this, and people mended and make do.
Yeah.
Carl Holmes, right?
I don't, you think
Australia
I'm making the point here that we
might be
should
weak
depend
now.
on China?
Wait a minute.
No, I'm just
Australia
saying.
might be weak, right, Carl? But unfortunately for China, Australia has a lot of allies. Great Britain being one of them. The USA being another one.
It's the Anglo
Yeah.
Alliance.
And so if China
the
tried to
Five
attack,
Eyes. Don't
you know,
start on the
China,
fucking Five Eyes.
if China tried to attack Australia, right? They're not just going to come up against Australia. I don't get people who think like that.
But China have literally just attacked the world with a virus and
Yeah,
got away
exactly.
with it. Got away with it scot-free. And everyone's having a wig out because Putin has gone into Ukraine. The
Yeah.
whole world was affected because
China
of
tried to
China.
fucking take us down, and we're the survivors of the cunts.
Yeah.
Is Australia a member of NATO?
And no one
Yeah.
is taking them to task. And they never
kept
will.
it, and they kept it quiet. The WHO covered
Covered it up.
Everyone covered it up because they didn't want to fucking fight with China. But let me tell you this, Dave, right? And I still believe this. We might be in a minority, but there is still enough true fucking English people. Forget the fucking rest of them who don't want to fucking fight. There is still enough true English people who are self-determined, who would, if our governments allow us, fight for our rights to stay as we are. I don't care what anyone says. It's our weak governments that let us down. That's the problem.
Yes.
But God forbid if we have to take it into our own fucking hands, because they'll be fucking strung up on poles as well.
I've got me pitchfork ready.
Carl, man, let Australia live, man. Fuck it now. Jesus Christ, people just looking at the map like, oh yeah, it would invade them. They could get invaded. It's out for fuck's sake.
No,
stop getting
we,
invaded.
we are very tied to Australia.
The Anglo
And
Alliance.
Canada. And America.
And Canada and America. So, you know.
You see, China is the biggest army in the world, but it didn't have to fire one bullet to knock the whole world out.
No,
Yeah, but see, this is the thing, Moon. There is more than one way to skin a cat. Sorry, I know you've got a cat on your avatar. There is more than one way to skin a cat. But at the end of the day, don't take it down to brute force, because if it comes down to brute force, us British would rather die fighting than fucking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I certainly wouldn't
Who
leave
are
my
we
country
fighting?
because of it.
Who are we fighting here? What's happening?
But because they didn't even have to get in a plane and fly over here to harm anyone.
No.
They sent it in a virus.
Carl, leave Australia alone, for fuck's sake.
I mean,
but even the virus they sent, half of us said, fuck your fucking mask, we'll take it on as it comes.
Yeah.
It's true, though. I had one injection. The bastards lied to me. They said it'd be 95% fucking coverage. 2 months later, said you got to have a booster. I was like, you lying cunt, stick it up your ass.
Yeah.
My daughter went down with
didn't have
COVID. I
any.
didn't get it. Hector didn't get it. Our other
I
son
didn't-
didn't get it. Our other son
didn't
only
have any.
had Yeah.
It's crazy.
My mum went to me the other week, before my daughter got it, right? My mum went the other week, oh, you do know your other sister, she's got COVID. I said, Mum, one of my sons and my granddaughter has had fucking COVID. They've been coming in and out my house for weeks. I haven't fucking panicked. She went, oh my God, you're going to get it. I went, if I get it, I'll get it, for fuck's sake. My mum's on her fucking 4th booster. What the fuck?
Christ.
Exactly, Moon. I ain't going through all that shit.
Fully boosted.
Yeah. But I can understand at her age why she's panicking.
Yes, of
She's
course.
in her 70s. She believes the government. She's used to the government when they were truthful. You know, back in the old days when they were protecting their citizens.
Wendy's got steam coming out of her.
It ain't like that no more. They're fucking traitorous cunts. I'm telling you.
How do we get onto COVID? I don't know.
Look at you, Dave. You ain't had no injections, have you?
No.
Yeah, Dave's a young man.
Hmm?
Dave's a young man. No need for him to worry.
I don't know.
Look, Wendy, I'm not going to knock anyone who's taken it, right? Especially if they've got underlying illnesses like you have, for example. Yeah, I can understand you being a bit nervous and stuff. No, you're laughing. She has in the past had thyroid treatment.
I just know how you put that. You know what I mean?
No, I don't mean it.
Wendy,
Wendy's got used to me now, like I've got used to her. I don't mean it like that. I'm not having a pot shot. I'm not digging.
No, I know you're not. It's just, you know, you put in all Wendy's.
Well, apparently my underlying illness doesn't count as a fucking underlying illness.
Well, that's a mistake as well. So they want to throw you out. You cheeky
fucking bastards.
Yeah. So the fucking
it doesn't count.
Wendy, I can't believe this.
When it first happened, right? When it first came, I was saying to the kids, "Oh, you're gonna have to shield me and everything because I've got this thyroid thing." So I'm waiting for the letter or the text message. You know, like they all got them, didn't they? I thought, well, where's mine? So I rang them up. I said, "Hang on, I need a letter, and I wanted something to get my deliveries and everything, right? Because I had to be shielded." And they said, "No, you're fine." I went, "No, I've got thyroid problem." They went, "That doesn't count."
I bet you were fuming.
I was fucking angry.
Cheeky bastard.
I was on the phone to Wendy the other week, right? Someone come to deliver something, and I heard her go. She went, hold on, Jubes, hold on a minute. Yes, just leave it there. Thank you very much. Right? When she come back, she went, I just had the delivery. I went, thank God we don't live in Victorian times. You would have been round the back.
Yeah.
Tradesman entrance.
Yeah. You should have heard the way she spoke to him. Or her. I don't know who delivered it, but she went, just leave it there. That's it. Thank you. Go on then. It's so funny.
Gender neutral delivery driver.
It was so funny, Dave. You had to hear her the way she commanded them.
Where did that 12 million come from? That's what I want to know. Did we pay that? Did we pay off Andrew's fucking nonsense?
No, okay. No.
No.
No. All right, okay.
The Queen and a lot of them, apparently, they all had a GoFundMe.
What did she do? Win it on a scratch card?
And they paid it off. Personally, I don't care about Andrew. I don't care about Andrew. He's pointless. He's worthless. The minute he agreed to a settlement, that was it in my eyes. No.
Yeah. It was a coward's way out.
I'd like to know who he's trying to fucking protect. Yeah.
If you truly believe you're innocent.
Yeah, you go to court, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not innocent though, is he?
Yeah, but you know, it's such a weird thing because she was 17 and over here you can get married at 16. I was married at 17.
In America you can't.
Yeah, exactly. But this is the weird thing in his mind. He wouldn't have been doing anything wrong.
Oh, you dirty slut. You got married at 17. I got married at 18. You got called a dirty whore. I'm telling you.
Oh, my God. No.
Yeah.
That was normal back in the day, wasn't it?
People went on at me because of my first marriage. I got married at 18 and 9 months later had a baby.
Did?
Oh,
Who
my
gets on
God.
See, you two
people
were the
are
one.
ridiculous.
It's the people like, well, it used to get on my nerves because I wasn't married. And all my friends were married at the same age you were married.
Yeah.
And I'd go, so are you going to come out tonight? Well, he doesn't want me to. And I'd go, tell him to fuck off then. We can't. He's my husband. I go, Christ.
Oh, I still went out with my mates.
Yeah.
Who has to go at you for being married at 18?
No, online there's a load of people. You know how they are, Dave, on here.
That was normal back in
People
the day.
just have to say something nasty for the sake of saying something nasty.
Apparently they thought I was naive as well, and I weren't. I went in with my eyes wide open, to be fair.
Oh, I didn't. I was very naive.
Due to back when you got married, that was normal practice.
Yeah, because I was they'd call me an oddball because I wasn't married or had a baby by the time I was 18.
Yeah. I didn't have a baby I lost 2, but I had my first one at 21.
No, I had my first one at 18. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was
There's nothing wrong with that, though. People are just pathetic. Probably jealousy again, see? And they just got to say something shitty and negative.
I'd go to the pub on that afternoon and they'd come in the pub with their pushchairs and I'd look at them and think, God, when I have a baby,
This is no
I'm not
word of
coming
lie,
in
right, Wendy? When I had my first
with
one,
a pushchair.
when I had my first one, I mean, when you have your first one, it is love at first sight, isn't it? And then you look and you think, oh, I can't believe that baby came out of me and all that.
Yeah,
bullshit.
yeah.
But I was in a ward, and I'll never forget it. I was the youngest on the ward. I don't know how, because like you say, it was common practice, but I was the youngest on the ward, and there was this teacher, right, that had just had her first kid, and she was 32. Oh, my God, I've never met a whinge bag in all my life. Oh, my God, she went on about her piles and her stitches and everything. She moaned every night. She was crying. And in those days, you had to be in for 10 days with my first one. And I remember the nurse coming in, and she actually said to me, she went, you would think that you were one of the eldest in here. She went, look how they're carrying on. Because I was just sitting on the end of the bed thinking, what is the fucking matter with that bitch? Yeah. Oh, my God, she was going. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that childbirth is piss easy. Well, it was for me. I've never had a stitch. But these women were fucking getting on my nerves. I'm telling you. Oh, the baby's crying. I don't know what to do. Pick it up, you bitch.
And stick a dummy in its mouth, yeah.
And all of them. I could never understand it then. And looking back, I'm so glad I was like it. All of them were wheeling their babies off to go in the nursery so they could have night's sleep. And they used to come to me and I go, no. And they go, but you might need rest. I go, no, it's all right. I've seen the fucking what's happened to some women. They put their babies in the nurseries and come out with the wrong tag. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I was only 18.
It's funny you should say that. Funny you should say that because when I had my first son, where was I? I was I was in the hospital, but I was in the nursery. No, I wasn't. I was in the smoking room.
Dave said it's turned into take a break. He wants to leave.
No. I'm just mentioning this to change the subject. I was in the television room having a fag when my husband came to see me. Yeah. Where's the baby then? Where's the baby? I thought, fuck's sake, put the fag out. Got to take him to go see the baby. And I took him to see this baby, our baby. And to me, it looked like our baby, right?
Yeah.
And he's picking the baby up and this, that, and the other. And yeah. And then he says, do you want me to come into the ward? I went, what for? It's a ward full of women. No. And I just got back down to the TV room where I could have a fag.
Yeah.
And
that'd be me as well.
Yeah. And then he went, right? So then I thought, I'm going to have a sleep for half an hour. And I looked in the nursery and saw the same baby, right? I thought, oh, he's asleep, so that's okay. I'm off to bed. And at the bottom of my bed was the baby thing, the baby, with this baby in it. I thought, well, whose baby's that?
Oh my God!
I looked at the tag, you know, that little armband. And it was my baby.
Lindsay.
You didn't pick up someone else's baby, for fuck's sake.
And he was coming back that night. Now the baby I'd showed him had a bloody great birthmark on its face, right?
Oh my god!
And our baby didn't. So I was lying in that bed for 3 hours till he turned up again at 7 o'clock. God, how can I get out of this? You know what a mess I've made of this? Christ. And I thought, oh, it's simple as a man, isn't it? They're stupid. So when he came in, he comes straight to the baby, like, you know, and he picked the baby, went, oh, that birthmark's gone. I went, yeah, I put some cream on it, and it just went.
Put some Savlon on
For
it.
God's sake, that's so embarrassing. I used to get told off because you had to stay in there for 10 days. That baby had to go everywhere with me. So even if I went and had a shower, I'd wheel the baby into the shower room, and they said, you can't take the baby in there. I said, who's going to stop me? They said, you can't do it. I said, I don't care. Baby's coming in there. And I used to take the baby in the shower room. Yeah, I was terrible. Oh, it was really bad. But then I was feisty. I was 18, so.
Yeah.
Dave's left. He's had enough. But I was really bad. But my first husband, oh my God. When I went in to have one of the others, I can't remember which one it was now. I think it might have been the third one. Fucking idiot. I had the baby, you know, and after you have the baby, they say, oh, do you want to go in the bathroom, clean yourself up and stuff? Well, they offered to wash you, and I won't let them wash me for a start.
Yeah.
But then they said, oh, well, you know, we can help you into the bathroom so you can have a shower because, you know, the ensuite's off the delivery room.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, all right. So I went into the bathroom and, like, my husband sort of, like, helped me off the bed and come into the bathroom with me in case I sort of, like, had a wobble or whatever. So I'm in there having the thing. And he fucking goes, what does this switch do? Oh my God.
That's men for you. They can't leave nothing alone.
Yeah, got to touch.
Yeah, I went, don't fucking, as I said that, he's pressed it, and he.
Oh my God.
I've never been so, but there I am, start bollock naked, and 40 fucking people have rushed in. I could have.
They got to mess about and play about with stuff.
Yeah.
They're not happy. Yeah.
I could have killed him though. The embarrassment. I mean, just imagine you've just had a baby, you're cleaning yourself up, and 40 fucking people come rushing in the room.
Oh my God.
Oh, he never was back down for weeks. I had the right hump with him over it. Every time someone come on in, did I tell you what he done to me? He's gonna give me postnatal depression, I swear, if he carries on.
Oh dear.
And then another time when I was having one of my kids, he went into the wrong delivery room, got chased out by a nurse, come into the right room and went, oh, that nurse has got the right arm with me. And I went, why? He went, oh, I didn't know. I got the rooms confused. And I went in the wrong room. He went, and the woman was screaming her head off. He went, I thought it was you. And I went, don't. He went, I said to her, don't be like that. Stop screaming like an idiot. He went, no. You. He went, and the nurse come out and said, what are you doing? I went, oh, great. All the nurses think you're a fucking pervert. I'll tell you what, don't bother fucking coming up here no more. Yeah, I was like.
Yeah. God. When I had my last one, this young nurse come walking past me and she said, oh, you're looking very glamorous for someone that's just had a baby. I thought, what the fuck's her problem? I went, yeah. And carried on reading my magazine, right? Then she come back half an hour later and she went, would you like me to show you how to bath the baby? I went, are you having a joke? I said, as you're having a giggle, aren't you? And she said, what do you mean? I said, have you read my notes? And she went, yes. I go, so this is my 4th child, and you think I need you, who's 20? You're about 20, aren't you? I said, show me how to bath the baby. I said, just leave us alone. He's sleeping. and I'm quite happy. Just go away.
They used to come in, didn't they? And they used to go, do you want to learn how to top and tail? No, I've done it before. What about breastfeeding? Done it before.
Yeah.
And because I was quite young, and I had 6 kids by the time I was 27, not 22 like Betty goes around telling people, 27. I had 6 kids. So I was still relatively young, even for the 6th one. And they used to come in and ask stupid questions. And I go, do you know that I've, like you, do you know how many kids I've had? You know, you're talking to an expert here. I remember when I had the elder one with Hector. And the nurse, the midwife was there, and I was like, you know, it's fine, just leave us alone. And then when she came back, I said, oh, I think I'm going to have the baby soon. And then before you knew it, there it was. The baby was born, and it was born in the sack. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. She was like, oh, you didn't call for anyone. I went, well, I didn't really need. And then when I had the last one, I was bleeding really heavy, and I called the nurse quite nonchalantly. Called the nurse, and like I said, Hector, you better get someone to come in and speak to me. And he said, why? I said, oh, I just need to speak to him. When they come in, I said, I'm bleeding too heavy. And they took a look, and they were like, oh, right, panic stations, right? And this pissed me off, actually. I'm not going to lie, right? They said, we've got to give you something up the backside. To this day, I don't know why they couldn't have given me an injection, but they insisted on fucking sticking this thing up the backside.
Oh.
Right? Now, I've had 8 kids, right? But I have never had anything up my fucking arsehole, right? So I was terrified. I was like, no, you can't do that. So they went, you got to. I went, no, the pain of it, I'm not having it, right? So she went, you can have gas and air. I went, and what's that going to fucking do by the time you fucking stick your fingers up there, right? She went, listen, you got to have it. I went, I am not having it. Anyway, I was in the middle of an argument, and they all fucking held me down, the bastards, and rammed it, right?
Well, what was it?
Oh.
And I don't know what it was, a Valium. They said it would go into the bloodstream quicker.
Yeah.
To stop
So
me
the
bleeding.
French do it.
Right, to stop me bleeding, because I was bleeding profusely, right? But I'm still arguing with them. I was like, I don't want it. Anyway, they done that, right? Fucking gave me fucking piles as well. I was really fucking pissed off with them, right? So, yeah, no, I'm serious. I had to go to the doctors afterwards, and I had to explain to him. I said to him, listen, I need this sorted out. This ain't right. Never had this before. I'm a fucking 8th kid, and now look what's happened. But anyway, after it all calmed down, they went, well done to the student nurses. Well done, whoever called the emergency alarm. Who was it that alerted you that she was bleeding profusely? And they all went shy. And they went, the mother. They went, what? She told you herself?
Oh, my God.
And they went, yeah. And the midwife went, well, it's probably because she has had 8 children, I suppose. But you could tell she was really fucking annoyed about it, that none of them had spotted it, and I spotted it myself. But what bastards? They held me down. I'm not kidding. There was about 8 of them. 8 of them.
They probably.
Well, you must have needed it. Whatever it was, you must have needed it.
They could have given me I'll tell you what, I'd rather have died, the bitches. I'm telling you.
Yeah, because if you were tense
without consent.
If you were tense, that could have caused trauma.
Yeah, it fucking did. As far as I'm concerned, they raped me with their fingers.
Oh, stop it.
Wendy, I still say that today. I never gave them permission, so they shouldn't have done it. I don't fucking give a shit. They should have found an alternative. I said no. No means no.
So after we've given birth, little did I know that outside there was a whole world of fucking boredom waiting. You know, because I was fine looking after my own child, but I wasn't fine where everywhere I fucking went, the people I meet, all of a sudden they just want to talk about babies. Baby. And then you got this mother and toddler group thing going on. So you go along to that. Baby. In the end, I had to stop it all. It was driving me fucking insane.
Yeah.
I never did any of that shit.
And you get the coffee morning.
Oh, yeah, Moon. I tried it all once.
No, I couldn't do it.
No fucking way. That would have killed me. Did you go to antenatal classes?
No.
No, I didn't go to them.
I.
No.
Pick that up your ass and all. Well, the thing is, Moon, I came from a big family that had loads of kids anyway. I mean, I was used to babies. Do you know what I mean? It was sort of like old hat.
Didn't need to go to them.
Yeah. And I had aunts and that had all had babies and stuff. So it weren't. And my mum had been quite graphic in telling me what it was going to feel like. She went to me, look, you know when you're constipated? I said, yeah. She went, you know when you get really bad period pains? I said, yeah. She went, it's a combination of them times 100.
Yeah, exactly. My mother was the same.
My nan said, pains of hell.
Yeah, exactly. And but I never expected, you know, like your first night out when you had a baby, right? And it's a big deal because you're leaving your baby, you know, and you're going out for the first time. And I'm sat there and I'm sat with these women, and we're not, when the babies are not there, they're there at home, and all they want to talk about is a fucking baby. I couldn't comprehend it. No.
Oh no, I did talk. I was maternal enough that I would engage in that, but I couldn't. What I couldn't stand is the mums that would go, "Oh, my baby had a poo today and it was green. Have you ever seen a green poo?" What? What the fuck?
Yeah, the ins and outs.
I laugh at the mothers today because I watched my own daughter-in-laws, or when they arrive here, right, and the bags that fucking come with them, I go, what have you got all that for?
Yeah.
Well, just in case. I used to put a nappy at the bottom of the fucking pram under the cover.
And a bottle.
And that off I'd go. I didn't need a fucking whole bag.
Yeah, you have to have a hold all
but
now.
do you know in today's age, right, you know they've got their Sure Start sort of like places now.
Yeah.
Do you know this stuff? Because my sister worked for them and my sister gave her job up. She said, no, I ain't doing that. That's ridiculous. If a mum comes in with a ready-made bottle, now you can go to the shops and you can buy the carton ones, which I think are more unhealthy, right? Because you don't know when that's been made. Like, it's got a sell-by date on it.
Yeah.
But you make a bottle from home, fresh,
and
put it in the bag, you're supposed to be reported.
Why?
Because you are not a proper mum. But basically, it goes against you. And that was one of the procedures. And she said, I couldn't do it. She said she got in trouble twice for not writing down that there was a mother there that was feeding a bottle already prepared. And she said, nah, I ain't doing that. I'm not putting marks against a mum for being fucking premeditated, like thinking ahead of herself. Nah, she went, that's wrong. Yeah. But they were allowed, if they came in with the ones that were in the package from a shop, that was all right. If they opened it there and there and poured it into the bottle, that's okay.
Oh, that wouldn't have suited me, no. Bottle at the bottom of the pram, nappy.
Yeah.
3 dummies just in case, and that was it. I'm happy. Now they come in.
Bottle of gripe water.
When my twin grandsons were born, right? This is another truth. When my twin grandsons were born, they were staying with me because she'd had a cesarean and everything. Poor Cash, she really went through it. She was only young as well.
Oh.
And like she's fucking brave. I tell you, I couldn't have a cesarean and be awake for it, but she did. Bless her heart, because she had to. Because they were fucking. They were, what do you call them? Identical twins, and they had 1 placenta. And so, as one was born, the other might have had it otherwise. So. Anyway, she had the cesarean so that they could both be born healthy and everything else. And she come to stay with us. And it was a really hot summer. And they were crying. And she was breastfeeding as well. Poor love.
Oh.
And bottle feeding, right? And they were crying. And I said to her, I know what's wrong with them. They need water. They need some water. It's really hot. They're dehydrated.
Yeah.
And anyway, I made them some bottled water, but cooled it down, give it to them, and they both went off to sleep. When the health visitor come, she went, well, they have had problems in the last few days with their crying and everything. She said, but, we gave them some bottled water. She went, you can't give them bottled water, they're too young. I went, do what?
God.
She went, you can't give them bottled water. I said, I'm afraid you fucking can. I said, and it settled them. I said, listen, I've had 8 kids, 11 grandchildren. I'm not having some fucking young upstart coming here who's never had a kid telling me they
Yeah.
can't have bottled water. Yeah.
Yeah, they've got some strange
weird.
ideas these days, haven't they?
Yeah.
They're really strange ideas.
They've got no
can't give
idea.
them, you know, with mine, when they got to 6 weeks old, you know, my mother taught me, you get the rusk and you get the rolling pin out and you crush the rusk up and put it in the bottle and shake it and shake it and shake it, right?
Yeah.
Shake it and shake it. Yeah, and they sleep all the way through the night as well, right? And I used to do that with the last bottle of every baby. So I suggested it to as my kids have grown up. Do you know what I mean? I said, "Well, look,
Yeah.
6 weeks, do that with them." Oh, you can't do that. you can't give them solid. You can't give them any kind of food till they're 6 months old.
Do you know how old they expect you to wait until they can have solids now, Wendy?
Yeah, 6 months, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Unfucking believable. 6 months old. Mine were already eating sausages at that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Used to mash it up through the strainer.
Yeah.
No, at 6 months old, I'd give it to them. They'd be fucking chomping on it with their new teeth. Yeah, as long as you're watching, making sure they're not choking.
Yeah.
Yeah. 6 months old, they say, "Oh no, you can't give them solids until they're 6 months." What do you mean?
Yeah,
No
that's
wonder some of these mothers are frantic with screaming babies.
Yeah, because they're hungry or thirsty.
Yeah.
You used to start them on the baby rice and the really weak Weetabix and everything and rusks, like she said, at 3 months, 3-4 months. Now you've got to wait till they're 6
Wow.
months.
Oh my
6
God.
weeks in my case. 6 weeks.
And if you give it to them too early and you tell the health visitor, oh my God, they're gonna fucking go mental at you.
Oh yeah, when she used to come out, she'd say, you're not putting rusk in their bottle, are you? I go, no, of course I'm not. Wouldn't do that.
Ladies, I'm going to have to go because I'm still at my daughter's, you know.
Oh, are you? You're not home yet?
Yeah, I'm still here. She wants to go to bed. And she's only in the
okay,
next
love.
episode.
Well, you're
But it's
welcome
been-
again.
Oh, thank you. It's been really lovely. And yeah, we must do it again soon.
Yeah, well, it's better than
we need
arguing.
you coming on a bit more frequently because it's good to have the third input.
Yeah, it'd be really nice. It'd be really nice as well to get away from the drama.
Yeah, it is, love. Yeah.
All
I
righty.
can't
I'll see you
bear
all
it.
tomorrow. God bless. Good night.
Night,
Night,
Mary.
love. Good night.
So is that you shutting down or?
No, I'll go for another 5 minutes or something. But yeah, I can't. Listening to you when you were on Rodney's, you know, I just thought, what is the fucking point? It's they're just so evil.
Right,
Evil.
so what is the point for me?
No.
To wind real up, you know that as well as
Yeah. But I meant what I was thinking was,
how
they're
quick did
so
you go
evil.
over there? Oh, she said that she'd rather be on yours than mine.
Do you know that he was on there before Rodney even started speaking?
Yeah, I can believe that as well. Because he heard me say I was going over.
Yeah, I've come over to forgive you for porn bombing me 20 times, Rodney. I thought, this guy, well, is he a man? I'm beginning to wonder.
It's because he knew I was going to go over there because I said on my stream that I'm going to go over there for 15 minutes. Guarantee you, Wendy. And this is why I made a big issue. Everybody thinks I'm going over the top, but this is why I made a big issue of pointing out, Wendy, you've probably got more followers than me that come and watch you, but he doesn't worry about that. He doesn't go on at you like he goes on at me. He's obsessed. I know people can't see it, but I know what I feel. I'm not stupid.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm not a
yeah.
stupid woman, Wendy. When it comes to that kind of thing, I'm not. You're not either.
No. I just found it. I thought, what an idiot. You know, and then they start with their evilness again. And I just thought, you know what? I'm done with all this. This fucking evilness.
Oh yeah, but fuck the evilness because it don't even touch me. I couldn't give a fuck what they say anymore.
I'd much
Seriously.
rather have a subject to talk about.
Oh yeah, so would I. That's why. But I knew that you were going live like 10 minutes later. So
Yeah, Brian Hurl, when you
did you hear
left.
what they said as well when I left? Oh, she ain't got nowhere to go.
Yeah, I
"Yeah."
was thinking, what?
Yeah, she'll be back. Oh, I was like, what?
Yeah. Right, okay, so yeah, we'll end it. Sorry it had to be on Wendy Wu too, but anything to do with Tommy Robinson seems to get you a strike. I've noticed.
No, it's all right. I reckon your viewer count will increase tomorrow because Wasp is live, Real's live.
No, there's a lot of people live tonight.
Rodney's
Yeah, but I don't
live,
care
yeah,
about
there's-
the view count. Look,
there's loads of them.
Jupiter, I could be happy with 20 people in the chat. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't bother me. All that bothers me, as long as I never ever have a channel that turns into one of those argumentative,
oh god,
screaming things. There's
Yeah.
no point.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm out. Let me go wander, see if I can wind it up.
Go to bed,
Night,
woman.
No, not yet. I will be in a little while, and I'm not going to say what I'm going to be doing because it offends Banana.
Oh yeah, don't. Yeah.
I'll see you later. Bye.
All right, love. Bye. Bye. Yeah. Good night, everyone. So good night, Unchained. And Robert, good night. Robert White, good night, love. And Carl, glad to see you back here, Carl. And Lady Pauline Smith. Sorry I had to do it on this channel. But you know what YouTube's like. You can't mention Tommy Robinson. Or you get yes, Sepid. Dave, yesterday they were talking about the menopause. Well, why not? Men talk about football, don't they? Yeah, so good night, people. And I'll see you again over on Wendy Wu 1.